Higher than before, you take me to a fourth dimension. Let me one more. I don't want this to end yet. Higher than before, you take me to a fourth dimension. Let me one more. Take me to a fourth dimension. Higher than before, you take me to a fourth dimension. All I want is you. 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 Is you. All I want 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 is you. 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 All I want is you. I want is you. All I want is you. All I want is you. All I want is you. Why am I the one you call when you need someone?
It's so melancholy.
I know, man.
I'm still ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are anything but melancholy. Let's get it going.
Hell yeah,
do it.
let's do this.
Woo!
Distant nerding.
I didn't think I can do
Well,
that.
ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It is your favorite time of the week because, ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching and listening and experiencing Distance Nerding.
Part of the Comic-Con Radio Podcast family.
He's our dungeon master. It's Shadu.
He's still smelling all the rocks being cooked. It's Hummus 5000.
He's thinking about Ryan Reynolds, thinking about Deadpool, thinking about Ryan Reynolds. It's young Phil.
Woo!
You're not wrong. And
we are here to nerd together.
Nerd together. Yeah.
Nailed it for the
Yeah, that's
157th time. We're talking about anything pop culture, news, movies, food, music, wrestling, comics, awards, I guess. Whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it.
guys, you got to follow us on all the social medias, all the places. If it exists, we're there. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Threads, YouTube, Discord, all at Distance Nerding. And of course, if you want to shoot us an email and you want to tell us everything that you love and hate about Distance Nerding, all you got to do is email us at dist.
I think we're supposed to talk right now, right? No,
Yeah.
just me. No, I don't know.
Assumed. I mean, you
Like
know.
a weird void. Like Philippe just walked away. I don't.
Right. Yeah.
He's
No,
supposed
he's
to do a show right now.
gone. He's just
Yeah.
gone.
He just left
Weird.
us up, and
Yeah.
okay, I guess we're done.
Yeah. All right. Great.
It's nerding at AOL.com.
Whoa, it's like you were in space. The way you were rotating that camera, you know, like when they're on the
Whoa.
space station, things are all moving funny. Whoa!
Whoa! Oh, so crazy. God, it's like the entirety of my is on the screen. I don't know how I feel about this.
Zoom out. What's happening?
I
Shave
can't
your beard.
see that. It's a fixed camera. I do need to shave my beard.
Yeah, you do.
I'm just looking terrible as it is right now.
Oh, you look great.
Shout outs to the chat right now. I see Saywong in there, Matt Hawkins, Tater, Darren Chibi, all you guys coming out to hang out with us. I love it. Let's check Instagram here. We see anybody in any Instagrams? There's people there, but not talking. So let's continue here.
They're chilling. They're watching. That's all right. They're wondering why we're in space. We're doing a podcast from space.
That'd be cool.
We are the At a Distance in Space nerding podcast. All right, never mind. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this because you have now stumbled upon that time of the week, that show.
Or
It's time-
moonwalked. Maybe
If
you
you
moonwalked.
moonwalked onto the download.
I still can't get over how cool that intro is. Really,
I love it too, man. It is very us.
it really is. No, it's
It
great.
really is. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this now. Let's talk about what we got on deck. This week on deck, we've got the Geekend Update.
We got a special guest dropping in. I hope they're going to be on soon. Oh yeah, we're going to have them on. Sweet.
He's here. Starting rumors.
Are we getting another Civil War?
Another
Maybe.
Civil War.
Another
Civil War. The download.
Is Harry Potter crossing over with SpongeBob? What?
Yes, it's happening.
What the
You
hell?
know, it's
Oh.
happening.
It's the crossover we've all not been asking for. All right. And of course, we end it with the breakdown.
We're multiversing all over the room. That sounded
Sounds painful.
bad
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I wrote that.
Mm.
Oops.
It sounded so much better when I wrote it.
Mm.
Not that good in hindsight. But of course, before we get into all that, ladies and gentlemen, let me cut out.
Remix.
The button is right next to the other one, so it's like
Okay.
It's going great. I'm glad to be back.
it's okay. It's all right. We're professionals. I'm a professional at this. Ladies and gentlemen, this entire show, everything we do here, the channel is brought to you by Poddex. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Poddex are a unique interview question and episode starting prompt in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement and level up with Poddex.com. Guys, use the code NERDING10. Get 10% off your order. Jamez, tell everybody how much you love Poddex.
I love me some pod decks. We use pod decks like every interview we do. I think we used them for all of our panels that we did last year for the Comic-Cons, the various Comic-Cons that we did. We'll do it again for all the Comic-Cons, like Gem State's coming up. We'll use it for that. I think we used them in our interview with Tim Donaldson that ended up in Spoiler Magazine. Shout out to
Ooh.
Tim Donaldson from Star Wars. So yeah, love me some pod decks.
One more time, guys, head over to Poddex.com. Use the code NERDING10. Get 10% off your order.
Yay.
Woo. All right.
So if the channel is brought to you by Poddex, then you may be wondering to yourself, what brings all the energy that young Phil has to distance learning? And we
Dubby is an emerging brand of energy drinks.
Oh.
Is it still emerging?
It's
Emerging
a
brand of
brand of
energy
energy
drinks
drink.
created to help focus, concentration, reaction time, no jitters, no crash, no maltodextrins, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes, and it's keto friendly. Dubby contains Neurofactor, a nootropic derived from the coffee fruit. Coffee's a fruit that freaks me out.
It's weird.
Neurofactor helps give your
best
brain
of fruits.
focus and clarity. I know that. How come I'm not eating those types of fruits? While the 150 milligrams of caffeine and
you all the fiber. It does give you
essential-
shit. So, I mean,
that's not good for the read. 3 essential B vitamins help you stay alert and energized. Find out more at dubby.gg. Use code nerding10 for 10% off at checkout.
no, so the correlation I was making there when I was making the poop joke was more that coffee makes you poop, and fruit, the fiber in the fruit makes you poop. So
Mm.
coffee is a fruit, and it makes that bad joke.
Dubby
We
is
got you.
so happy right now.
So, ladies and gentlemen, to find out more about w.gg, use the code NERDING10, get 10% off your order. Let's get right into it here, guys. It's time for the Geekend Update.
Distance Nerding is on Comic-Con Radio. Listen to Distance Nerding and our second show, A Comic Conversation, via comiccon-radio.com. Look for the Distance Nerding podcast, even this episode, and a new comic conversation each week on comiccon-radio.com/podcast. We're popping that in the chat because I can multitask. And
The
shout
last
out
time I
to
tried to do something like this, it was chaos. So,
You do stay away from links. Links are bad for you. But shout out to Comics Podcast. Shout out to Mostly Pod Out at Night podcast that are also on Comic Con Radio. Shout out to Geek Saga. I don't know if you guys tuned into their show this week, but they had a special guest, Brian Volkweiss?
Volkweiss, yes.
From
Volkweiss.
the Nacelle Company. Oh my God.
He's
So
the guy
cool.
who runs the Seal Company.
Ooh.
Now, if you're excited about that, and it was a great interview, just keep in mind he is going to also be on our show next month. So, keep your ears tuned for Brian Volkweiss coming soon to a distance nerding near you.
Heck
Mhm.
yeah.
Woo.
Heck yeah.
All right.
But we got a special guest, don't we? Huh? Yeah.
Oh, we got one
do
more
indeed.
thing before we bring the guest, man.
What's that?
We got one more thing. Oh no, sorry.
Oh.
Okay, so we do have a guest.
Spoilers, we have a guest.
Spoilers, yeah, I know. No, so ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do something we haven't done in a little while here. We're going to do a comic book showcase tonight. They say special news report from the field. We have a reporter out in the field right now, trying to get him in here. Ladies and gentlemen from the field, I am calling in here Mr. David Quiros from the Night of the Chihuahuas comic series. David, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I had some of those supplements. I'm about to poop, but other than that,
Damn it, young Phil. God.
Dubbies, they go through you. So now
They go right through you.
New slogan.
Puppies, they go right through you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show. It is David Quiros Jr., the writer of Night of the Chihuahuas. Now we at this point we've gone back with David. We've been supporting the book since we first found out about it. But I mean, that's essentially at the beginning. I think you guys only had one book out at the time when we first linked up with you, and now we're getting ready to talk about book 5 here. David, tell us about your launch now with Kickstarter.
yeah, man. So we launched this morning, issue number 5, which is going to wrap up the first series. It's anybody that creates anything knows, like, sometimes it's the industry being what it is and just everything happening and being independent. Sometimes you never make it to the end. And so the fact that we got to the end and that we're reached as many people as we have and have as many fans as we do is just, it's incredibly awe-inspiring and humbling. And, it's with some sadness that we posted to Kickstarter for issue 5, because it means that this section of the journey is over, but there's still going to be more in the Chihuahua verse to come later. But for right now, issue 5 will resolve that initial storyline, and the Kickstarter's live and it's kicking ass, and we're blown away by the support that we have. And just, kind of like what you talked about, man. We linked up a long time ago when I think it was at LA Comic Con, right? And the first time, and then just getting to see like how we've continued to move up like this, and just being able to have your support means a lot. So thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. We wanted to find a way to get you in here, and we were like, we're gonna bring back an old segment we haven't done in a while. It's like the perfect way to bring that segment back, man. So I mean, just for those and any new listeners, any new people who are watching on YouTube and Twitch and on Instagram now, for those who may not be familiar with Night of the Chihuahuas, give them kind of like a brief synopsis into the story. Kind of like what's the sales pitch, man? Why do people? I know why. I've read all of them, but I mean, like, what's the reason why everybody would want to come into the show, to read the book?
Yeah, it's basically just about a bunch of Chihuahuas in the small town in Arizona that got their hands on this serum, their claws on this serum that gives them strength to back up their attitude. And now they're doing all the things that they think they can do. So instead of just biting ankles, they're ripping people's legs off and causing all kinds of havoc. And it's all told in like a very campy, tongue-in-cheek manner because I grew up watching cheesy monster movies. And so this is like my love letter to all those monster movies I grew up watching, just with chihuahuas instead of zombies or vampires or anything like that. So it's a lot of fun, and we don't take it too seriously, but we have a good time.
Right. And this was originally a movie script. It started off as a movie script, correct?
Yeah, it started off as a movie script. Once we realized that we didn't have the funding or resources or anything to pull off this, very, very big screenplay, very big project, we realized that being a fan of comic books like I was, I'd always wanted to write comic books. And then I had this idea, and everybody kept telling me, like, you've got to figure out a way to make this because everybody loves the concept of killer chihuahuas, and we could put on page what we couldn't put on the screen. And so just kind of a natural evolution of it.
It's amazing.
That's awesome. And the reception's been great. Like we follow you on Instagram, but you're at like every con you could get to. Like it seems like every weekend you're at a different con.
Yeah, man, we're trying. Well, because we're independent and it's all word of mouth. Like we've never put money into like a market. We've never had like anybody come out here and do the work for us because we've done all the work ourselves. And we're out there pounding the pavement. Pushing comics as much as we can and trying to. I always tell people, we're out there spreading the gospel of the killer chihuahuas, and the reception has been just awesome, man. It's like this year we went to Motor City, which is our first comic show in the Midwest. So it was like a whole new audience and just killed it out there. Met so many really cool people. And, LA, of course, like we always do, we're going to do El Paso this year, which is our first one in Texas. And so it's growing, and it's all growing organically just based on like, how far can our car take us, or what's the plane tickets we could afford. Like that's as far as we're getting, but we're going to keep branching out and growing because the reception has just been awesome. So
That's awesome.
thank you.
I had a question. So I know you go to Comic Cons. Do you also go to horror cons? What has been like the reception between the two?
Yeah, the horror cons, we do some. We did Mad Monster this year in Phoenix. We had a good turnout there. There's a lot of overlap between. So it's like when we do Phoenix Fan Fusion, then we did Phoenix Mad Monster. We see a lot of a lot of people are like, oh hey, you guys are here, and so it's cool. I think we do a little bit better at Comic Cons just because the campiness of our subject. Horror conventions tend to be a little bit more, in my experience anyway, they want more of like the serious, like the, even though I think they're cheesy, but they want the straight laced horror films kind of thing. And so we still get fans, but we don't get like as many as we do at a fan fest or a Comic-Con. We are going to be at Day of the Dead in Phoenix, Mad Monster in Phoenix, and we're working on a couple other ones, but those are the only ones we have confirmed so far.
So you're based in Phoenix. I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, we just like to visit there a lot,
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, the story takes place in Phoenix, and we just like hanging out in Phoenix. It's just
Yeah, it's like but no, I lived all over the place, but I'm born and raised here, and I keep coming back. So I figure at this point I might as well just stop fighting it. But
Nice.
catch me in July, and I'm like, nope, I'm out of here. I cannot wait to get out.
I'll be out there in a couple months for a tournament thing, and I'm gonna have to come check it out. Maybe get some books signed because young Phil does not share the books with the rest of us. He has a nice display at home, but the rest of us. And by the way, I gotta say, I love all the variant covers that you guys do, like the Jaws one and whatnot. I love them. They look so cool. I love the connection to other kind of pop culture stuff that we see. So
yeah, those homages are a lot of fun. They're and that's a good way to get people's attention as people walk by. It's just, that's what gets people's attention, and they come over and they talk to us, and then usually we can get some interaction going with them after that. So,
right. And we have an up and coming artist in the chat right now. Shout out to Eric Ruiz. I don't know if you know him.
What's up, Eric?
But you should try a couple books. Maybe give him a shot.
I mean, he's a pretty good artist, man. You might want to consider having him draw a book for you.
Yes, I would endorse him. He comes with the David Quiroz seal of approval. So whatever that's worth. But.
Real quick, shout out to Eric because he's the one that hooked us up, right?
Yeah.
Because we met Eric, I think, at Capitola Con.
We met him at Capitola Con.
And then he hooked up with you, and next thing you know, we're hooking up with you, and you're all over the place, and it's been great.
That's awesome. Hey man, if you're gonna be in Phoenix, hit me up on Instagram or anything like that. I will definitely buy you a beer. So
yes.
We
Free
do have
beer.
good beer.
Likes
We
his
don't have
beer.
much in Phoenix, but we do have good beer. So
I like that, and I will drink Young Phil's beer too. Thank you. I appreciate it. So let's jump back. The Kickstarter. So this is for book 5. It's wrapping up the what do we call it? This phase.
Like,
We have phases.
I mean, the first storyline, the first story arc.
And when did the Kickstarter start?
8 a.m. Mountain Time this morning.
Ooh.
8 a.m. And the response has been amazing. It looks like, from what I can tell on Instagram, you guys are hot.
Yes. It was, like I said, I mean, blown away. Honestly blown away. I've had projects that failed, that didn't reach their mark, that, you know, I've had some that got really close. I've had some that never even got started because we fell apart before we could even start a Kickstarter. So the fact that, like, to see the reaction that we're getting from this, and in just a few hours, the responses, and it's really, really amazing. So I, you know, thank you guys for having our back very early on and helping us get to this point.
Yeah, and it's well deserved, man. I mean, you guys put out a quality book. I mean, obviously with the writing that you have, and then the artwork between Eric and the artist that you guys started off with, and everything like that. You guys have going on. It's been a great book. I mean, like, it's been entertaining as hell. I remember reading the first book and being like, I need more of this. I need Resident Evil with Chihuahuas. I need it.
Yeah, that is so badass. And I think, like, Eric's artwork is just amazing, especially for this finale, because there's some parts that are, like, you know, like I said, they're a little over the top and just fun, and the way that he can just bring that on the page and just pour it out and make it so awesome, and, like, you know, I don't want to say, like, in your face, like, that's a bad thing, because it's not. It's just a great thing. But the little details that he captures is just awesome. I've really, really loved working with him. And you know, like I said, it was with some sadness that we wrap up this series, but at the same point, there's more to come, more of the Chihuahua verse to explore. So
Chihuahua verse. That's great. That's amazing. So tell us about the Kickstarter. So it's funded, right? But there's different levels that you can still buy into, right?
Correct. We're in stretch goal territory now, and fortunately we have some amazing stretch goals still to come. The Black, White, and Blood covers and prints that we have coming are some of the best that I think we have created yet. But we reached our funding goal in like 2 hours, and so it's funny because, like, my son had a dentist appointment this morning, so I had to take him to the dentist appointment, drop him off at school, go to work. So I got the alert. I got the email alert that said your project is ready. And then by the time I got to work, it was like, your project is funded. And I was like, I was like, is what?
That's
There's
a
no
glitch.
way.
It has to be a glitch, right? Like, that's probably what's going through your head. It's like, there's no possible way it's already funded. And then you look at it and it's like, it's funded. What the shit?
Yeah. And then I'm thinking to myself, like, this has got to be a joke. Like, somebody's got to, like, one of my friends has got to have, like, bought the biggest package, and then he's going to, like, back out and laugh at me or something. But no, it was all organic, all just, you know, we've been really hitting this thing, like, you know, trying to spread the word. And so it was nice to see that paid off successfully. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is awesome. Congratulations. So can you tell us about the different tiers that are still available?
Yes, we have a lot of merch tiers this time out. So we do our typical, like, you know, we start you low. If you've only got like a couple, because God knows, I know how that goes, man. If you don't have like tons of money to go throwing around, you know, we have like, hey, here's for, you know, get a printed copy of issue 5. If you can't afford that, you can get a print or a digital copy of issue 5, even emailed to you, you know. And then if you have the money and you want to like go a little bit crazier, we have bundles that have like vinyl killer Chihuahua that we've started printing out. And so it's not painted, it's glow in the dark, but it's the Fifi cover from issue number 2. And it's, you know, got the jaws that open and the tail and the teeth, and all the details are awesome, and it glows in the dark, and it comes with the t-shirt and with the comic book. And that, I think, the reception that we've had to the t-shirts at the conventions, like, we sell out pretty much every show that we go to now of the t-shirts. And so if you've been wanting to get your hands on one,
can you take some of our t-shirts to the conventions? Because that'd be nice to sell out of some of our t-shirts.
we owe you guys. If you guys want to come by the booth and drop them off, I will wear them. Bring me like one with the deep V. I will have that.
There you
stuff
go.
on.
TV.
I like that. Slapping Chihuahua on it,
These like it has to
Heck
be
yeah.
all the way down to the like navel.
like the belly button. I'm looking at
have
the.
have the lightning bolt here.
Oh my
I'm
god! No, the V is a lightning bolt
Yeah.
down the belly button.
Yes, absolutely. I'd wear that.
Oh man, I need to tell Eugene to make that.
I love that these bundles have like little add-ons as well. So it's like maybe I can afford a $50 one, but like maybe I can, add one and add a couple digital issues. That's really cool. I dig that.
And also too, if you haven't gotten on board yet, if this is your first time seeing us, we have options that you can buy all of the previous issues through our Kickstarter now. So we have bundles that have issues 1 through 5 as well, which is a nice way to, if the word reached you late and you just got here, then that's a great way to get caught up.
Nice.
And again, it's
cool.
well worth getting because the book is amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I kind of want one of those glow in the dark Fifis.
They're badass and they're
feeling
really
that.
high quality
Those are really
too. Like
cool.
they're very. We had a kid run up to our table, grab it, and smash it, and it didn't even break. Like this kid.
Okay.
And it just blew my mind because and then the mom's like looking at me like I'm the a-hole because I told the daughter like, hey, don't do that. But it withstood that like bash. So it's pretty high quality.
I think that's dope. So how long does the Kickstarter last? I've never. Does it end like in a week or something? Or
No, it's a month. It's a 30-day Kickstarter. So
30 days. Wow.
yes. So we got 29 days. So if you're waiting on, you're waiting on your next paycheck, or you're not quite sure if you can do it now and you want to come back to it, you can definitely bookmark us, save us. In the meantime, it doesn't cost anything to tell friends, to share it, to like it, to help us spread the word. Because like I said, everything that we do is through word of mouth. It's just through friends telling friends and handing the copies out, and somebody else saying down the road like, oh my god, I got to track this down, and coming back and buying the copies. So if you're seeing this and you love it but you're not in a situation where you can financially back us, telling other people about it is totally awesome, and we would really appreciate that as well.
Yeah.
That's
Looks
awesome.
like we're going to be sharing something tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah, and then I saw Eric posted the chat too that he is doing some t-shirts as well, so definitely hit him up. And also I believe he is taking on if anybody has something that they would like printed, whether it be on a Stanley Cup or t-shirt printed or anything like that. He's a good guy to hit up for stuff like that as well.
I
Awesome.
gotta wonder if Eric is making a Chihuahua Rilla.
Chihuahua.
I mean, if not, I'm gonna have to ask why not, right?
Or at least have like a Lucha-Rilla of like Caesar Milan.
Mm-hmm.
I go shh, anytime the other wrestler gets too close.
Yeah, so like the dog Whisperilla and right next to
Chihuahua Rilla.
Oh,
so
that'd be
the
awesome.
dog Whisperilla, and
Yeah.
right next to the dog Whisperilla is Fifi.
I like it.
He would sell itself, man.
I mean, he already has the Distance Nerdorilla as a crossover, right? So it's like, yeah, I mean, it makes sense to do a Night of the Chihuahuas and a Lucha-Rillas crossover.
Hell yeah.
Hey, can I ask a kind of behind the scenes, kind of behind, inside baseball question? What is like the distribution like for an indie comic like this? Do you go through like any kind of outlet, or is it all printed?
In 2024, one of the goals that we have is to get listed in Diamond, which is the big
Mhm.
catalog that every
Mhm.
comic store gets. That's our
Yeah.
goal, is to get listed, which we have a much better shot now that we've completed 5 successful issues, because usually when you're first starting off, unless you're an established name, they're very hesitant to take anybody. So that's a goal. But for right now, it's literally just like, hey, I'm on vacation with my wife, and even though she's yelling at me about doing this, I bring copies with me, and if I pass a comic book store, or I usually scout ahead of time and see what comic book stores there are, walk in, introduce myself, see if they'll be interested in picking up a book. And then it's like, calling them up a month later, hey, did you sell out? That's awesome. Do you want some more? It's a lot of like old school cold calling comic stores, walking in with copies to sell them, and having, luckily we do get ones that contact us because a customer came in and read like the first 2 issues and they want them to pick up the rest of the issues and stuff like that. So we do get some of them that contact us, but it's a lot of, old school salesmanship.
Boots on the ground, guerrilla marketing type thing.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Guerrilla marketing.
Yeah. Stole the words out of my mouth. Yeah, it's exhausting, but when you love when you have a project that you really love, that you really believe in, that you think people should read, it makes it a little bit easier. It's still not easy, but it's not as difficult as if it's something that you're, just doing because you're making a buck off of it, or because, you're doing it for somebody else. But when it's something that you really believe in, it makes it a lot easier.
That's great. That's right. Can you give us I don't want to spoil anything, but like maybe a tease leading up to book 5, because book 5 is the ending. Is there like, what are we ramping up to?
Yeah, so it's the climactic, action-packed, blood-soaked finale, because it's basically the Chihuahuas have trapped everybody inside of the survivors have all been trapped inside of a house by the Chihuahuas. There's an army of them outside trying to get in, and meanwhile, inside, all these divisions that have been formulating over the course of the first 4 issues, they're all coming to a head. So alliances that have been made, backstabbing that has been happening. So rather than having a unified force fighting the Chihuahuas, it's these survivors turning on each other as the Chihuahuas, spoiler alert, get inside. They're not going to hold them out forever. And then once the Chihuahuas get inside, all hell breaks loose, and we have the bloodiest kills to date in what's already been a pretty bloody series. So God. One character's fate in particular was like my favorite in the entire series. So I can't wait for everybody to read it, and let me know what you think, because it's big and all the things that we talked about earlier, how this was started off as like a film screenplay, and it's like this finale, there's no way we could have done without like a 6-figure, 7-figure budget. So to be able to do it on the page, like, and see it come to life through Eric's artwork was just awesome.
That's incredible.
That's
That is so cool.
That's, man. I'm excited to read it, man. I like I said, I've been invested so far. So I have to read the ending of this. And Eric in the chat saying, I enjoyed drawing Willem Dafoe, Johnny.
It's you'll know it when you see it. It's
with the gap in the teeth and everything.
It's awesome.
So David, before we let you go here, man, what go ahead and give us some more some pluggables and kind of any shows that you have upcoming, or one more time, give them the Kickstarter, anywhere where they can find you, and where we can go and find out more about Night of the Chihuahuas in general.
Yeah, thanks. So we got the Kickstarter going until the end of the month. Well, I think technically 30 days. So it's like through the first week of February. And then after that, we will be at the next big Comic-Con that we have coming up is Tempe Fan Fusion here in Arizona. And then we'll be at El Paso Comic-Con. We'll be at the Arizona Comic and Arts Festival. And beyond that, we're working on a couple of other ones, but those are the ones that we have locked down. And then I've got a couple more projects that I can't talk too much about, unfortunately, just yet. But one of them that I think the cover's been blown is I did a story for the upcoming Tremors anthology, which really looking forward to. So the old, one of those movies that, it's a cheesy monster movie from my youth that I grew up just idolizing and rewatched over and over and over again. And then to be able to do a comic for them was really cool. So, and then the Aquatus Comics, the Gabe's Cave anthology, I'm still doing we have some more issues of that coming out. And I wrote an independent horror film that is supposedly coming out, but like, I don't believe it because we did it like 3 years ago and I haven't heard anything since. So we'll see if
like
it ends
you
up
wrote it and somebody else shot it.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So it's like it's basically like The Office meets trying to think, because it's about a zombie deer that's attacking a hapless sales team who's on a team building hunting expedition, and they all get picked off by the zombie deer. So very comedic. I guess I'm kind of typecasting myself as like the killer monster or the killer animal guy, but we had a really good time. The script, I thought the script was pretty cool. What they did with it, we'll see. But I don't know. I'm kind of curious to find out.
That's awesome. Yeah, let us know. Come back and
Thank-
let us know what happens with that because that's pretty cool.
For
That's
sure.
pretty cool.
Maybe we could do a live stream where we just watch it and just just say like, what are they doing with this movie?
God, I would love to do that, man. I was gonna try and like promote the our Lord and Savior Cthulhu, but I don't know where the hell I put it.
That's all right. I can send you
There's-
another one.
There's a Cthulhu running around your house.
It's
Right.
I just put
There,
it
I'm
down.
trying to figure out what's the camera at. It's like, that way. Nope, that right there. So
Yeah,
There
yeah.
we go.
I talked about it the day after LA Comic Con when we got back, and I showed it on the stream. But I was showing everybody. So David gave me a book that kind of like a pamphlet, but like
you talk. I'll be right back.
this project that he did before Night of the Chihuahuas. It's almost like there right there. It's almost like a
There.
like a communist propaganda, but also like, do you know
Oh, yeah.
about the Lord Cthulhu? And I was like, I'm gonna start walking around cons with this thing. So,
That's
have you heard
cool,
of
man.
Cthulhu?
Have you heard the good news about Cthulhu?
Just dress as Deadpool as a Mormon, but walking around with the Cthulhu pamphlet.
Yes. I can, I would honestly,
You would
man,
do
if
that.
you would record yourself doing that, I'll send you like 20 of these so you can actually hand them out. That would be amazing.
There you go.
Oh man,
There you
that
go.
would be great. It's in here. Just my office is a mess right now.
No worries.
But
Hey,
yeah.
real quick. We know we can get issue 5 via the Kickstarter to get it produced, and that the other 4 issues. Is there a way to get them right now? I know we
I'll
can get them
drop
as a
in the-
bundle, right?
I'm dropping it in the chat right now, and then that way you guys can post that. Oh, did I spell that right? Hold on one sec. It looks like I spelled that right. Yeah, so if you go to our website, nightofthechihuahuas.com, you can order them directly from there.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Perfect.
And if you go into a comic book store and they don't carry us, let them know that we're available, and then that way we can hit them up too.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thank you so much. And again, congratulations.
Seriously,
I can't
yeah.
wait to see what
That's
happens with
like-
this.
Thank you so much, man. I really
Amazing.
appreciate it. And once again, thanks to everybody. Thanks to you guys for being there for us from the get-go and, always supporting us. It's been awesome to continue this friendship, and we look forward to collaborating more going forward as well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I can't wait for the other merch you got coming. 'Cause
Yeah.
You always have
It's
such
cool.
fun ideas.
Thank you.
Cool.
Well, yeah, David, thank you for coming on, man.
Oh
We
yeah, thanks so much.
appreciate your time here today.
Heck yeah, man.
And we can't wait for the next one, man. For the
Yeah, I
next one.
appreciate it very much, guys. Thanks, Liam, for having me on. Take care.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon, man.
See ya.
All right, later.
That's awesome.
Already gone. But no.
I'm very excited, man. I'm always excited to talk to David to begin with, but I mean, just I love this book. I really do.
And it's cool watching somebody like do their dream and get so passionate, get so invested in it, and it's working for them. Whether it's the biggest thing in the world or it makes its money back or whatever it is. He loves what he's doing, and you can tell like
And that's
it's
all
such
that
a
matters.
passion.
Exactly.
Yeah. So cool.
It's awesome.
Super awesome. So we should probably move on to the rest of the show here.
Oh, we got a show? Let's do a
Right,
show.
yeah.
James is so used to doing like one interview. That's the entire thing. Where he's like, hold on, we're doing this in the mid-show. Like, yeah, we're doing it mid-show.
I'm done for the day. I'm gonna clock out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to start some rumors.
Woo.
Ah.
No.
Oh.
Hannah.
I don't know.
Woo. All right. What we got in the in the docket here today, man?
Is The Walking Dead strolling into the MCU?
That's
Huh?
exactly what's happening. They're strolling.
Walking Dead strolling? Get it? It was recently reported that Euphoria and Fear the Walking Dead star Coleman Domingo is rumored to be replacing Jonathan Majors as Kang in the MCU. I think we kind of mentioned it earlier. Like, was that last episode? Might have been the last episode.
Yeah, we're
Like
talking
right
about
as
last
it was kind of getting out there.
right.
Like
right
but
as-
there's been some positive response to Domingo possibly taking the role of Kang, but it's still just a rumor. Marvel hasn't confirmed anything, but I guess like when they leak rumors out there and they kind of test the waters,
Yeah.
see what people are saying on social media. People are like, "Yeah, let's do it. I like this guy." So, and I really like him on Fear the Walking Dead. He was an interesting character, good and bad. So it's like he can play both. So
Oh, cool. No, I have never heard of him. So
he's a great actor.
He's a really good
Right.
actor, man.
Huh?
So
Awesome.
tacos are on the table. Are we getting more Kang, but with Coleman Domingo?
My tacos are going to go on the table for this, and it's mainly because I don't see them with all of the story that they have and all the planning that they've had around Kang the Conqueror. I don't see them dropping it right now, just because the entire roadmap is based around this.
Mhm.
I feel like even with all of the negative reception that this phase has been getting, I think everything is going to culminate and everything is going to be elevated once by the time we get to the Avengers movies. I think that it's one of those things where it's like Thor: The Dark World, right? Like where everybody hated on Thor, and then when they put context to Thor: The Dark World in the Infinity movies, everybody went back and was like, "Oh, I like these movies now." So I think it's going to be along the same lines as that, where there's going to be a lot of contextual stuff that's not there right now, but when we get it later, it's going to make everything make more sense, and people are going to enjoy everything that much more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could. That's a glass half full. I don't know how they're going to do that with Quantumania, but I think
I
think it'll
see-
happen.
I could see that Kang being more integral than we think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know.
Shudu, what do you think? Tacos? Where are your tacos?
My terribly tentative TVA tacos are on the table.
Terribly tentative TVA. I
love your tacos.
I love it's very it's very heartwarming.
Thank you.
So
I
good.
agree. I don't know at this point. I really hope they continue Kang, but I don't know if they're going to. I feel like it might just be too connected with Jonathan Majors at this point. But I don't know. So I really hope they do. So
I'd like to see them
Definitely.
continue Kang because that was the plan.
right,
Exactly. I
exactly.
don't want them to shift just to shift because of
right, because
the
then you're just going to
situation,
throw away everything that Loki has been setting up, and that you mentioned Quantumania setup and all of that, and so it's like if after Avengers they just were like, no, it's not Thanos anymore. It's this person. It's Loki
Right.
or whatever.
right.
So
And I mean, if you get the right actor, like Coleman Domingo is a good person to take up the mantle on this. Like if you get the right actor, it's almost as if Kang never left to begin with, or we never lost.
right, he can kind of just slip in
Right.
where Majors left off. Yeah,
Especially with the multiverse. Like the multiverse is the only way that you can really explain that.
yeah, right.
You can have another actor come in. They've already kind of made the point that you can have other actors play the same character.
Right, because you have Loki and Sylvie, and you have the different variants of
Right.
and we'll probably have a different Reed Richards variant too. It's not John Krasinski.
So are we all kind of weirdly freaking out that Jonathan Majors is fired? It's like they've kind of set the precedent, like what you're saying. Like, how many Lokis have we seen that aren't even Tom Hiddleston?
So, a lot. We've seen a couple of
Yeah.
movies that are not Tom Hiddleston, and that's why it's like That's why I feel like it works. Where you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
somebody come in and play. I mean, aside that, I think the only thing that doesn't work, but you can still make it work, is that we've already seen Jonathan Majors play like four different variants on screen, but he also played like,
Well, there was the whole Council of Kangs.
Council of Kangs,
Yeah.
and now you're gonna have somebody else go and play those versions of the Kangs.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like you can retcon these things.
Yeah.
We had 3 different Spider-Men in one live action movie.
Right.
So,
Right.
Which supposedly we're gonna be getting that again in Secret War. So it's like that's the only reason I feel like it works. I'm just I'm just more iffy on kind of, is the performance going to be the same? You know what I mean? Like
This is why I said terribly tentative.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors' performance was insane.
It was just, it's chilling. It went from chilling to sympathetic back to chilling, and it was just.
But then just like the different ways that you have Jonathan Majors playing that character, you have in Quantumania, you have a very, very ruthless, scary version of that character. And then you have a very, what's the word I'm looking for? He is calculative in He Who Remains. And then you have a very kind of like bumbling in the way that he played Victor Timely. And then you have, when you see the Council of Kangs, like they're all imposing. So, I mean, that's kind of just what I'm not to say that Coleman Domingo can't do the same thing, but just, it needs to be that same level of intensity that Jonathan Majors was able to bring to the role.
I'm all for Coleman Domingo because you guys need to put some respect on The Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? All right, who's got the next one?
You know what it seems like? It really seems like Jamez's spidey sense is tingling.
Yeah.
Is your spidey sense tingling though?
Mine
Phil?
is tingling.
Because
definitely tingling. His tingling. So one of the most highly anticipated sequels in Marvel's upcoming slate is Spider-Man 4, a movie with no director, writer, plot, or even a star as of yet. Yet Spider-Man 4's story arc is being described as a street level civil war. So Jamez, you wanna introduce this synopsis we have here?
I mean, we do have a starting spoilers opsis. I can feel your Peter tingling. Just a rumor synopsis.
Starting spoilers opsis. I can feel your Peter tingling. Just a rumor synopsis. Oh, that is just bringing it back to old school Jamez. I love it.
I worked in
superior writing right there.
I can feel your Peter tingling.
Don't say it that way. Just don't say it that way.
No.
My bad.
No.
We're not calling it that. It's not a Peter tingle.
Okay, the film will reportedly pick up shortly after the events of Disney Plus series Daredevil Born Again, with a triumphant Mayor Fisk outlawing street-level vigilantes. That will bring Spider-Man and Daredevil together, presumably to take down Wilson Fisk once and for all. Talk was on the table. Are we getting a civil war in the streets?
Oh, damn it. Disney. They just spoiled Daredevil.
Yeah.
Synopsis. Oh man. They totally just spoiled what's going to happen in Born Again. Like, okay, so were you guys supposed to tell us that Wilson Fisk becomes the mayor?
I mean, it's a comic storyline. Don't worry about it. Come on.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
But
you're
still.
giving us the storyline that's going to happen. So, like, I hope so much more happens in that series.
Right, me too. Well, we still need. It's something that I've thought about for a while. It's like, we know the heroes are going to win eventually, but it's how they get there.
Yeah,
that's the interesting part. So I think it's more okay. So we know he's going to be the mayor. Great. How does he get there?
Yeah. I mean, that's how I feel about spoilers in general. Is like I don't care about spoilers because I want to see the story that leads up to the spoiler.
Right, exactly.
But I mean, just for everyone else out there, like, did you guys just drop a spoiler for what's going to happen? Disney's usually better about that. So I mean, with that being said, I mean, my tacos are on the table. I 100% believe that they're going to go that route because it is a chance. I think they're capitalizing on what happened in the last movie. That they know that they can do team ups with Spider-Man and the fans are going to love it. So how do you take that up to the next level, right? Let's get street level characters that we've been introducing. You can do Spider-Man, Daredevil. You can even bring in Hawkeye. Technically, you can bring in Deadpool because Deadpool is on that same level too, and get that almost PG version of Deadpool interacting with Spider-Man that everybody wants right now. Right? It's one of those things where we definitely can get a lot of those interactions in the characters that we've been wanting in the show that we haven't gotten for Spider-Man in general. Like we've gotten like the big Avengers level stuff, but we haven't gotten any of like the street level stuff and him. I mean, it's going to be fun to see him and Daredevil together again. There's a lot of Hawkeye tends to team up with them at that level. Moon Knight, but I don't see them bringing Moon Knight back just for this. I'm just trying to think of like street level characters that that would interact with Spider-Man at that level.
Right.
Kamala. I wonder if we're gonna get Kamala.
Khan would be a good one too.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah. Street level, character, yet her powers are cosmic. But whatever. It works.
My legally blind yet still formidable tacos. Yeah, I'm gonna say they're on the table.
Remember, he's not just legally blind; he's clinically blind. Like he is blind.
My clinically blind but still tenacious and terrifying are on the table.
Your night of the taco is
yes, my night of the very small but attitude filled taco is on the table.
I dig it.
Yeah, my tacos are on the table too. I think what they've been missing with a lot of this latest phase movies and shows is the team up aspect. Whereas like in What If, we got all kinds of crazy team ups and it was fun. Right. So I think they're going to get back to that. Like, hey, let's bring this around. Let's get a group going again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think they need to. I think that's kind of part of the whole appeal too.
Yeah. All right, who's got the next one?
So it is Chimichanga Rumor time.
It's Chimichanga time. Wait a minute.
It's Chimichanga Rumor time.
It's Chimmy the fucking Changas.
I feel just like a little.
Show me those Changas. A possible synopsis has surfaced for Marvel Studios' Deadpool 3, and it reveals some details about where we find the Deadpool in this next chapter of its story, and teases an interesting dynamic with Wolverine. It is, of course, the unofficial Deadpoolopsis, just a rumor synopsis.
I will shoot your fucking cat.
Unofficial
Wow.
synopsis. It's just a rumor synopsis.
I'm in danger.
Hiding real pain.
After facing some professional setbacks while going through a midlife crisis, Wade Wilson decides to officially retire Deadpool and become a used car salesman. But when his friends, family, and the whole world are at stake, Deadpool decides to bring out his katanas out of retirement to recruit an unwilling, wary Wolverine to not only fight for their survival, but ultimately their legacy.
Used car salesman? What?
Used car salesman.
That sounds like something that Wade would do, though.
Oh yeah, no, it's very
100%. I don't want to live in this world anymore. I'm just gonna go sell used cars.
All right, so what do you think? Tacos on the table.
Oh, my tacos are all just gloriously on the table on this.
My used car they had to clean a painted pink unicorn off of,
The
or
used Chimichanga Mobile.
used Chimichanga Mobile, smells delicious, but will give you heartburn, are on the table.
I would not buy a used car from Wade Wilson. Are you guys kidding me? What's wrong with y'all?
Wade Wilson's used
Used
car
car.
100% would have a suction cup dildo on the front of it.
Every
pull up and it would be
used car,
flying everywhere.
every used car has a hot chimichanga on the dashboard.
Every
Every used car,
Is that what we're calling it now?
every hot chimichanga. That sounds disgusting. That's just the dragon on the front. If you don't know, don't worry about it.
Oh God.
I am not gonna Google that.
No, please don't. God.
The fact that Shadu knew what that was just tells me what he watches.
I'm telling your mother. All right.
Who do you think?
No. Oh my God. Let's go. Let's keep going. Oh my God.
Please. Okay.
Oh God!
Oh.
Oh God! No, so
James Tucker's on the table.
he's definitely going to be a used car salesman. He is definitely still going to be wearing the suit
The whole time.
the entire time, and mainly because you have to remember that in the way that Wade looks at that suit is not him hiding his identity. It's him being self-conscious of what he is and hiding that from everybody.
Mhm.
So he would 100%. He would. It's funny because we're talking about him being a used car salesman. You 100% he would be wearing the same brown suit that Owen Wilson wears in the first season of Loki.
That's funny. You know what would be funny is if he wore the Free Guy outfit, you know, like the blue
Oh.
polo or blue button-up shirt and the khakis, and then he just had the mask on. That'd be a weird little like, is that the Free Guy outfit? That'd be fun.
Why do your arms look like chewed bubblegum? Hey, zip it! You fucking talk about me, all right?
Okay, your tacos and your chimichangos are on the table for
Chimichangas.
Wade Wilson as a used car salesman. Got it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Let's get MC Undead. Marvel Studios has been deep in development on the Marvel Zombies animated series. I'm so looking forward to that. And a new rumor suggests that the undead Scarlet Witch will be at the center of the story. Interesting. The report says that the zombie version of Scarlet Witch has a new moniker and will be known as the Dead Queen. Okay. All right.
That's all right.
I mean, we saw her in What If. She was manipulating some deadies.
I mean, you couldn't go like Blood Queen or something to go with Scarlet, but whatever.
I know. Who's making these names? The Marvel star Iman Vellani has confirmed that she will be reprising her role as Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, in the series, and her character will be at the heart of the show. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So, tacos on the table. Will we see Kamala take on the Dead Queen? Huh?
I believe so. I think that's something that'll happen. Now, I do 100% agree with you. Dead Queen is not as creative as like Queen or something like that.
Scarlet Witch.
I know the Scarlet Witch.
I mean that at least sounds cooler.
Yeah.
Right.
Now with that, it's going to be interesting to see which version that, or what universe that this is, coming from and everything like that. Just because, is this after the events of
What If?
No, is this after the events of
What If?
What If? Of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Because remember, they've actually confirmed it that when she dies in that movie, she officially died.
Right. Yeah. But we've seen this dead Scarlet Witch come back in
Right.
What
but
If?
but in What If, it was also, they were all already zombies at that point. So that's why I'm saying, is it like, do we find out this is post her dying in the MCU?
Oh yeah, she's gonna take over another universe. That's why they're making this show. She's gonna try to infiltrate. I don't know how, but she's gonna sneak her way into another universe, and that's her trying to take over the dead in another universe and wreck and shop that way.
Yeah, because I think that, given that she is still signed on for more films, I think that the next time we see Scarlet Witch, it's going to be a multiverse version, not the version that was in our universe.
Mhm.
They've already established that there are she's seen multiverse versions of herself,
Right.
Multiverse of Madness. So I mean, it would make sense for another multiverse version. Maybe that one is actually stronger than the one that we had.
Hmm. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. I got it. Tacos on the table. Kamala is taking on the Dead Queen. I can see that.
Yeah. My tacos are bursting out of the ground and then shambling slowly, yet creepily, towards the table and placing
Yeah.
themselves on it.
Just bits of soggy tortilla just
With this,
dropping.
right.
off.
There's just like tortilla, there's some meat,
Where are you guys getting tacos from?
From the grave.
Apparently.
Yeah. Is that where
Don't all
you're
you
gonna
don't all you Latinos get buried with tacos? Isn't that how it works?
Oh, whoa.
No,
Whoa.
it's not racist because he's not wrong.
And moving on.
All right.
That's actually in my will, is when I
It's tacos.
bury me with nothing but tacos.
Oh, that's awesome. LeJack had to sign it like, oh, fine. I will buy the tacos from this taco stand. Fine.
Oh god.
All right. So, speaking of another universe or perhaps a galaxy far, far away,
Oh.
new details have surfaced regarding the story for Lucasfilm's upcoming Disney Plus series, The Acolyte. The rumors are saying that both Amandla Stenberg and Manny Jacinto will play two different characters. Stenberg will be playing Force-sensitive twins, and both are of Sith origin.
Oh,
One of the twins will remain with the Sith, while the other will be taken and trained by the Jedi. The story is said to follow the evil sister as she becomes a Sith assassin, who is tasked with taking out a Jedi Master, played by Carrie-Anne Moss. Side note, Moss's character is a Jedi warrior who is known to defeat her enemies without using her lightsaber. So the Sith assassin vows to learn martial arts and kill the Master only using her hand-to-hand combat skills.
Okay, this just sounds badass. Like this
right.
is this what was that what was the Bruce Lee show that Bruce Lee wasn't in? Kung Fu.
Yes.
Is this
David
like
Carradine. Yes.
David Carradine, right? Is this Kung Fu but in Star Wars?
I
think
dig this.
just to finish here, Jacinto's characters, it's explained that he will play both versions of his own character. One good personality, one bad, because of course there's always a good and evil twin. That's just how that works. Not much more information was shared for the character. So, tacos on the table. Are we getting twins twinning in the acolyte?
Winning in the
I kind of like this idea of like two sets of twins, one good, one bad. You know, kind of polar opposites. I like it. It makes me a little nervous because I have twin girls. So now I'm like looking at them thinking, all right, which one's the Sith?
Right. I mean, one of them will be evil. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
Or how my name says, John Mez's other twin.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. The other twin is the Sith.
Right.
I really like this idea. It feels like they're taking, because there's a concept in the Old Republic where there's exactly, what I'm talking about, where it's Valkorion has two apprentices and they're twins, and one becomes a Sith, one becomes a Jedi, and then come back to him and both try to kill him. Right? I I love that, and I feel like that's kind of what they're trying to do. So I love this concept.
If they do go that route, because the rumor has been for a while that we may be getting Revan in the Acolyte. If this does end up being something that has ties to the Old Republic, because they did say it takes place during the High Republic.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, it could very
Yeah.
well have ties. I mean, it could. My idea with that is that it would be like his holocron or something more than.
Either his holocron, or you find out that they're like descendants of Revan,
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
right?
They're
And it's like,
Shans somehow or
yeah,
whatever.
and like, you know, when you go into like their force sensitivity and their attunement to the force, it's like it has to. The force has been in your bloodline for
And then that
generations.
could also. Sorry.
Yeah,
No, but that could also explain the whole one's good, one's evil. It's the balance. They need to find the balance with Revan and all of that.
right.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
Enough. Say Wong's in the chat. I didn't even see this till right now. Say Wong's in the chat actually talking about.
Oh yeah, I was like Jedi around Darth Vader. Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Yeah, my one hard shell, one soft shell, one with chicken, one with beef. Are
One
on
super
opposite
spicy.
sides of the table, but are slowly coming together. And we don't know what's going to happen when they do.
Yeah.
But they're
One-
not using any weapons.
One with a ghost pepper, one with sour cream.
Yes. Yes.
And you have to have the ghost pepper one first, because if you don't, then your mouth is going to be on fire. If you can't have the sour cream,
Exactly.
the spicy one is definitely the Sith.
Yeah, I like this one.
This
I
is
like
better,
this point idea. That's really fun. So, Acolyte's coming sometime this year.
It's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're done filming it. You know, like with the strikes and everything.
I don't know. That's a good
I
question.
thought they finished Principal before
Did they?
strikes.
Maybe.
They
Or then they
could've.
said
I
maybe they're
just
doing
don't remember.
reshoots or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought that was the whole thing, is what they were worried about is not being able to do the reshoots.
Right. Right.
Okay, cool. I think that was our
So-
last
That's our last
I
one.
believe it was.
rumor.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, since that's it for the rumors, it is now time to talk some download. So let's get into that.
Ooh, all right.
Don't forget, check out the Distance Nerdington post on Facebook for more news, all the trailers, all the reactions. I think just posted a couple trailers in there today. Let us know what you're nerding out on this week. This is a weird one to start off with. I almost put this in rumors, but it's from Variety. So I was like, okay, this is kind of news than just rumors. But merger? What are we talking about? Mergers? Mergers in a move that could reshape the media industry. Warner Brothers Discovery, who just did a merger, and Paramount Global have engaged in discussions about a possible merger.
Oh God,
Is
I don't
that
know if
crazy?
this happen, man. I don't know if this is going to happen. I think the FCC is going to shut this down. But continue, man.
It could. Well, I mean, they let Disney and Fox merger, you know? Anyway, the news was confirmed by Variety, revealing that CEOs of both media giants, our favorite guy in the world, David Zaslav of Warner Brothers Discovery, and Bob Bakish of Paramount Global, recently held a crucial meeting in New York to explore the potential union of their companies.
Why
Oh my
did
gosh.
I think Bob Backlund as soon as I saw his
I
name?
know, right? This merger would bring together two major players in the entertainment world, each with its own rich history and a diverse portfolio of assets spanning television, film, sports, and streaming. Oh my gosh, I got some numbers, but I do have a Warner, Paramount Brothers plus CBS, Discovery, Viacom recap, Opsis.
Jesus. Warner, Paramount Brothers plus CBS, Discovery, Viacom recap synopsis.
There you go. Warner Brothers Discovery is the result of Discovery Communications acquisition of Warner Media from AT&T in 2022 has quickly risen to the prominence with a market capitalization of $28.4 billion as of December of 2023. In contrast, Paramount Global, formed from the merger of CBS and Viacom in December of 2019, currently holds a market capitalization of $10.3 billion. It's a lot of billions they're throwing around.
Yeah.
Interestingly, though, this is where it gets a little interesting. Paramount Global carries a more modest long-term debt of $15.6 billion. Warner Brothers Discovery
Modest,
faces
right?
I know, modestly. Warner Brothers Discovery faces a more substantial debt of $43.5 billion. Wow.
This is why Zaslav is being. I was gonna say this is why he's like cutting everything and whatnot, but
Yeah.
it always comes down to you just bought another $60 million home, you fucking piece of shit. Okay, that's it. I'm done.
Yep. No. You're
But
not going to
he
find enemies here.
deserves-
I
He
agree.
deserves that home. You
No,
know,
It's not absolutely.
he needs a place to walk around.
Yeah, he needs a place to store the rest of his money.
Yeah, exactly. A bigger
Right.
home to
Just a
hold
big
more
home so
money.
you can just make big piles of $1 bills
Yeah, he's
and then
Scrooge
hop
McDuck.
into them like Scrooge McDuck.
Yes, on the same page. That's great.
You know what? I 100% hope that he makes a swimming pool full of gold coins and then tries to Scrooge McDuck it and finds out that you can't really do that in real life.
Just die.
He just dies. He just breaks his neck diving into a fucking pool of gold.
Oh, that
Wow.
would just be poetic.
This is 100%. We're never getting jobs at Warner because I'm a fucking asshole.
Yeah, thanks for that. Appreciate that.
Want you back, Phil.
It's great. I will give praise to Warner Brothers and all of the stuff that they do all day. And then we talk about David Zaslav, and I'm like, rich bastard.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery?
I
Like-
don't think it's going to happen. I
Right.
agree.
I think that I don't think it's going to happen specifically because the more these companies merge and you start having these, the more you start getting into conglomerate territory.
Right.
And when you start getting into conglomerations and stuff like that. Is it the FCC that controls this or the FTC?
I'm gonna say FCC.
Yeah,
The
I
FCC,
believe it's
right?
the
Federal
FCC.
Communications. Yeah, so the FCC literally has laws in place where you cannot have mergers that create conglomerates like that. Paramount and Warner Brothers are two massive companies. The reason I don't think this will happen is because all of the kind of the FCC made a point of almost not letting Disney acquire Fox because of that.
Right.
You know, because Fox was a major corporation, right? But because like Fox really wanted to sell it, and they were like, well, if they don't sell it to Disney, they're going to sell it to somebody, and Disney's the one that's on the table right now, so they allowed it to happen. With Paramount and Warner Brothers talking about merging, they're really just trying to merge assets to fix their debt, but they're two massively large companies. I honestly don't even think Paramount or Viacom will allow Paramount to do what they're doing like that. So
yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it'll go through. I think the conversations are happening, and I think they're trying to find a way, but I don't think in the end it'll go through because the FCC is gonna shut that down.
Yeah. No. I agree.
I mean,
Sorry,
go ahead.
for it.
Go ahead. I was gonna say that Disney, Fox, Amazon bought MGM.
Right.
I don't know, man. I think things are happening. I mean, we've seen Warner Brothers and Discovery have two separate entities, two separate apps or streaming platforms, and they've merged. I don't know. I think this can happen. I think Disney and all the other big Amazon have all the other Apple have all the other shares of the market where it's like, okay, Paramount, Warner Brothers kind of makes sense. So you don't have a conglomerate quite yet. So yeah go for it.
Paramount has been on a decline in itself for the last couple of years. at least for like the last 10 years in itself. I mean, if you look at Paramount, Warner Brothers, Disney, Fox, like all the different studios, Sony, all the different studios that are out there, Paramount's the one that's been kind of just fading into the background.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Paramount and sadly Universal.
Well, but keep in mind, you know, Paramount is CBS and Viacom, so they still have a ton of stuff. They have you know, probably the major network, you know, still on cable if cable's still a thing.
But
But you know,
that's also Viacom. Like Viacom is Paramount's parent company,
Right.
right?
right? And Viacom is the one that has, you know, a Nickelodeon and
MTV and everything else. Yeah.
right.
Right.
Like Paramount is just more their movie studio.
Mhm,
And the reason that everything went to Paramount Plus was because, you know, and why CBS Plus died and they merged it into Paramount Plus was because Viacom was like, okay, well, we have all these different companies that we own. It's almost the same thing that they did with Max, right? Like, let's take every brand that we have and put it under
Just-
HBO. And then they made HBO Max. And then now, because they realized, well, we have every brand that we have are in one place, rather than branding it as HBO Max, let's just call it Max. And that encompasses all of our brands.
mhm.
Paramount Plus is the same thing. Paramount Plus is just encompassing all the different brands that Viacom has, the same way that that Time Warner and now Warner Discovery are everything they own is under Max.
Mhm. I do think if this does go through and happen, it sets a dangerous precedent
It does.
for just everything to eventually just conglomerate into one.
Yeah,
And that's not-
It does make Warner, if not already, it makes them size wise. They have the same amount of assets that Disney would have.
Mm-hmm. That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
They're still not as big as Disney. You know, Discovery bought Warner Brothers
Mhm.
Media. You know,
Mhm.
Paramount, it's kind of its own thing. I still don't think it's going to be as big. Now, if say Apple bought Disney, then I think we're in a different territory.
Which Apple was teasing wanting to do for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know so decision time. Do you think Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery will merge at some point, whether it's 2024, 2025, 2026?
Like I said,
I hope not.
the attempt is going to happen.
Oh yeah.
That they're gonna talk about it. It's gonna be a thing. The question is does the FCC allow it to go through?
Mm-hmm. I think that's
In the end, that's what it is. I believe that the conversations are probably happening. I believe that Zaslav is making crazy offers to buy Paramount and everything that they're doing. And it's Paramount Global, which is like, you know, not just their movie studio. Like there's a lot that's involved with Paramount Global. I think part of some of the Viacom brands are a part of Paramount Global.
Yeah. We didn't even mention Netflix in the game. So
yeah,
there's a ton of other options out there.
Yeah.
And,
So I mean,
you know,
it's
this is going to ducktail into the next one, but we haven't even mentioned YouTube TV as well.
YouTube
in that
yes, it's a
that Google money. You know what I mean?
YouTube TV died.
it
But,
died
I mean-
before it could, you know, before it even got off the ground, really.
I know a lot of people. I mean, not what was it called? Red, YouTube Red.
Yeah.
And now it's premium, yeah.
But I'm talking about the YouTube TV where you get cable from YouTube, you know, and then you can put in all your different platforms and watch it all on YouTube. I know a lot of people that are going to YouTube Live or whatever it's called,
Right. But then
instead
Hulu
of
also
having
has live
cable.
sports. So
Yeah, exactly.
That is
YouTube's coming around. Speaking of YouTube, are we that old that YouTubers are now retiring?
I didn't think I was that old, but
You're that old, bro. You're
Yeah.
that old, whether you like it or not.
we're that old, man.
weird.
This is
Life
a sad
moves
one. This
Kinda
one to me.
fast.
This one to me is as sad as somebody passing away.
Now, okay. Let me get through this, but I need your. I'm going to need some input from you to help frame the conversation, but let me get through this. The game theorist creator MatPat has announced his retirement from YouTube in a new video titled Goodbye Internet. MatPat, whose real name is Matthew Patrick, stated that March 9th would be his last day hosting his YouTube franchise, that he will be handing off the channels to someone else. For me, my journey in this place, I always wanted to go out on a high note, he said. And when you stop and look at the last year, this has been the best year in Theorist's lifespan. No joke. MatPat created Game Theorists with his wife Stephanie in 2011 as a platform to discuss the lore and wildness theories behind popular video games. The YouTube star eventually launched several spin-offs, including Film Theorists, Food Theorists, Style Theorists, and as of January, the game channel alone has amassed 18.4 million
Good
subscribers.
God.
Yeah.
That is nuts. MatPat explained in his farewell video that he wanted to spend more time with his family, having been work first for over a decade. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, 10 plus years, he was in a different place when he started this.
Oh, he definitely.
channel.
I'll mention that once we get.
Okay. He also said, I miss the days where I could just sit down on the couch with Stephanie and play video games, and it's not for our content. He continued, or I'm playing a game and I'm not thinking about what theories are going to come out of that. I miss it. So he just misses being like a normal person.
Right. Which again,
You got
is
18 million
completely,
followers.
totally
You're not a normal
understandable.
All right, Young Phil, tell me about
About
Game
MatPat.
Theorist, MatPat, the whole thing.
So I'm a massive game theory, movie theory, film theory fan. Like they've actually influenced part of what we do, and like our theme song. When I reached out to the producer that created our theme song, I literally sent him the game theory theme and said, I want something similar to this. You know, MatPat is a dude who he has a video where he explains it, where he had been laid off and he decided, okay, well, I have all these theories about, you know, characters in video games and stuff, or, you know, these different like things that I'm put together. So he just started recording videos and started using like rudimentary like cuts to make like funny videos about these theories that he had in different games. He talks about how he would just sit inside of his closet for the acoustics and record these the audio for these videos and whatnot, and it took off. Like his videos are amazing. I love MatPat. I've reached out to him like 3 times to try and get him to come on the show. Yeah, like I remember when his channel first started growing, when it was just game theory, and then they came out with the theorists and they started doing stuff outside of that and just talking about like anime and talking about different stuff. And then I remember when film theory came out, and he started like expanding and doing like, oh, here's a theory from a movie, and you know, something that became stuff like that. So I mean, like MatPat went from being a dude who got laid off, was a college graduate, got laid off, couldn't find a job, to being one of the biggest and most lucrative YouTubers out there. He, to a point, became a consultant, and that's where he really made his money. Was he, instead of just doing his videos, you know, he was kind of famous for growing his channel really fast, and a lot of companies would consult with him on how to grow your YouTube channel or how to make your channels bigger, stuff like that. So he became like, I'm sure he's going to continue being a consultant, right? He's not doing videos anymore.
Gotcha.
Right.
So that's the kicker, that he's kind of the he paved the way. Like he showed a path on how to be a YouTuber to make money or earn money.
Right, exactly.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
I mean, I was very briefly a fan of game theory and film theory especially, but I don't know. I just never really got too far into it. So,
Mm.
but it is so weird because he was so iconic and just associated so much with YouTube, and everybody knew who he was, and he's appeared in a bunch of different things, and it's kind of surreal almost to see like, oh, that
He's not dead. He's still gonna be
No, but
around.
might as well be.
hear that, but to hear that he's retiring, man, like wow. And I'm sure he's made a fuck ton of money, man.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like,
Yeah,
enough
I have no doubt.
to where he can retire and not have to do this anymore. And I know he said that his channel isn't going anywhere. They're still going to be doing stuff. It's just he's not going to be doing videos anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see who takes over and starts writing the theories. There's a couple of different Matt Pat videos that I've used as examples for things over the years. Like if you haven't watched Mario's a sociopath video.
Oh, I definitely, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
So good. He talks about like why Mario's a sociopath, right? Like the things that he's done in that, or he's had a couple of theories that have become mainstream that he wrote.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, the Neville is the chosen one theory. Yeah, he wrote that one.
Mhm.
Right, in Harry Potter. He's also got a couple of Game of Thrones theories that he put out there that freaked people out. Like he's got a lot of theories that he has put out there that people like. James, I'm sure there's a couple of theories that you've heard that you didn't realize that Matt Pat wrote.
I mean, it could be some. It's so interesting. I guess I'm just fucking old, but like I've never heard of this guy, but he's like so iconic to everybody.
Yeah.
I was just looking it up. YouTube started in February of 2005, so we're what 19 years in
Mhm.
with YouTube. That's kind of nuts,
Man, that's almost as old as me.
right?
That's
Yeah.
weird.
What's fun about YouTube is I can remember back to the days where we didn't have YouTube.
Back in my day,
I also remember the days where
I was
I remember the days where all we had were dial up, and it took 2 days to download pictures. I mean,
Okay, well, depending on where I am, it does still take that long, but it's.
yeah, exactly.
everything came line by line. This was before
Right.
like what we're doing right now could not
Never,
exist
never.
when we were in the infancy of the internet.
I mean, we've come a long way. So what do you think? Do you think if you think it's burnout, do you think other YouTubers are going to start being like, you know what?
Well,
I kind of feel Matt Pat that I'm burned out too. Like this whole content creation thing is such a workhorse mentality.
Yeah.
It's so hard to create content. We do it once, twice a week, maybe 3 times.
Yeah,
It takes up so much time.
it really
Imagine trying to do
does.
this every day.
Right. And that's
Yeah.
the thing, is that what's crazy is like I've always told myself, if we could just like if we got to a point where we could just do this full time, like I would be doing more shows.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I would be doing like every day. Like I'd probably be doing something every day where like, okay, we have our main shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but then I'd probably take not reviews, but trailer reactions out of the show and do like trailer reactions on Wednesdays or something like that. Or
right.
do like kind of like take other things that we do and put them into different content sections, and then probably do a game stream every day. Like these are things that I would do, on a regular basis if we could just be full-time content creators. Now, of course, we can't do that right now, but I mean, like, that's that there are things that we could do. And I feel like I always think to myself, like, damn, I wouldn't get burnt out, but it's like I probably would.
Yeah,
I probably would. With the amount of work that I want to do, I would burn myself out.
very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy doing the things that I do, but I know that these YouTubers also enjoy the things that they do. you know? And that's the other thing, is the bigger the channel gets, the more elaborate things we would do.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's the problem is, everything has to
You
get
know,
higher and higher in quality.
I want to be like in my mind, I'm like, I want to be I don't want to be Mr. Beast, but I mean, like, I want to give away stuff on the level of like Mr. Beast, right?
Right.
Where I'm like, I can just give away a $700 Lego kit because why not?
Right. And it just doesn't affect you.
It doesn't affect me, right? Or like
Yeah.
I can just give away, go and get like a comic book that is, high level graded, and go and just give that away because we
Right.
can't, like just give back to the nerd community. Those are things that I would want to do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Real quick, shout out to STS Wrestling. What's up? Happy
Hey.
New Year, buddy. How are you? But I was thinking, my kids watch Ryan's World, and he was like, he was making like 20-some million a year,
Yeah.
last couple
Right.
years on YouTube, and I see that he's selling his content now or leasing the content to, I think it's Pluto TV. One of those like
Oh
new
yeah.
platforms like on Roku.
Yeah.
And they just
Oh,
need
yeah.
content. So he's just like loaning out his old content. It's like he's making a ton of money, but like, you see the people because they go behind the scenes a ton. You see the army of people that are working to create this content that looks like oh, it's just this 8-year-old kid playing games with his parents and his sisters, but there's just an army of people.
Right. No, it is a corporation. It's a company. It's
editing. Yeah, exactly. Editing
ridiculous.
videos, creating content, creating slides. It's nuts.
Yeah.
So, good for him that he decide. I mean, if he's, he's a young guy. Good for him to.
Yeah.
That's
step
man.
down.
He's in our age range, Jamis.
Good for him. Good for him. All right, let's keep it going.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Let's go.
What if
Oh,
Barbie
got
is coming to the MCU? Huh? Barbie?
Yeah.
Who's a Barbie girl? Maybe she's a Marvel girl. I don't know.
Come
Ah,
on, Barbie. Let's go to the multiverse.
you got
So
improv. I give you props. Okay.
There you go.
yes.
Marvel Studios is already developing the 3rd season of their What If animated series, and it was revealed that Barbie star America Ferrara has joined the cast in a mysterious role. Interesting. That we've kind of already seen. The casting news was revealed by creative team Matthew Chauncey and AC Bradley during the interview on the shout out to Comic Books Phase Zero podcast. Who is it? Brandon Davis. Shout out to Brandon Davis. Good guy. It's been revealed from that Ferrara will be voicing a character named Ranger Morales. This is a character that has appeared briefly in the comics, but they say for that series, she is almost an original character. Chauncey said, just for the clickbait, her last name's Morales. People got very excited about that.
Oh God.
We actually got our first look at Ranger Morales in the What If Season 3 clip that was previously released featuring Red Guardian and Bucky Barnes, a.k.a. the Winter Soldier. That being said, let that process in your brain that her last name is Morales. Will her last name of Morales weave into a spider web of MCU rumors?
Yeah.
Miles Morales.
Yeah.
We'll work on it.
Miles
We'll
Morales.
work on it.
I see that. I mean,
They have the last name. They have the same last name.
I guess if they want to try and find a way to make, I don't know, make her related to Miles Morales in some way, like maybe Ranger Morales is his aunt or something like that.
Or right, it could be his aunt or whatever. It could be a variant. This is going to be complicated. It could be a variant of Miles, who's a woman somehow, and never got bit by the spider.
Maybe. Ooh, look at you.
Could be.
His aunt may be related.
Oh,
Get it? Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Say it's Ranger Mayral. Oh, no.
Oh, I'm looking on. I'm sorry. I'm looking on Instagram, and Crumbum, our guest from last Thursday, he said Link is dead is my favorite. Talking about Matt Pat's theories.
Wait, say it again.
The Link is dead theory.
Oh yeah,
Link
yeah,
is
yeah.
dead from
Yeah.
Zelda.
From Zelda.
Yeah.
So there's a theory that Majora's Mask is Link in the afterworld going through this the 7 stages of grief.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that one.
I might have to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Now I'm thinking about Link being dead. Is it like
my
Sixth
favorite-
Sense type thing?
It was what?
Is it like a Sixth Sense type thing?
No, it's Link going through the 7 stages of grief post mortem. So like he's in the afterworld and he's just it's basically the game is supposed to be him coming to terms with his own death.
Ooh, yeah, it's great.
It's a crazy theory, man. Like again, Matt Pat's theories are awesome.
Yeah, my favorite personal theory about Legend of Zelda, it's not Matt Pat, is the insanity of Unraveled. So
Oh yeah.
if you haven't seen that, it's amazing.
Huh?
The whole entire Zelda timeline. Unraveled. It's a whole thing.
Oh, okay.
It's a series of ridiculousness. So, yeah. So,
Sorry, I spent the
I'll
last
send it
3
to you
years.
later.
I spent the last 3 years watching Ryan's World on YouTube. And that's it.
You're good.
No, I don't even know.
You're
I don't
good.
even know what's happening.
I'll
Man.
send it to you.
So
Appreciate that.
in more MCU news, it was recently revealed that Steven Yeun has exited Marvel's Thunderbolts, which he was attached to play Sentry in. The actor has now addressed his departure in a recent interview with Variety and confirmed that the Hollywood strikes were one reason behind the decision to drop out of the Marvel movie. Yeun said, "I think for me, time passing and things shifting kind of pulled me out of it. But Jake Schreier, I know, is going to do an incredible job. It took a lot of drafts. It took a lot of drafts on email to make sure that I conveyed the sincerity of how sorry I was to have to back out." So will we still get Sentry in the MCU?
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
If this was a rumor and tacos were on the table, I may just have to hold my tacos and eat them and not put them on the table because I don't know. It just feels like it's going in a different direction.
Okay, so the thing is that if Sentry is written into the script, I don't think the contingency of having Sentry was based on Steven Yeun playing the character. I think that they just cast him because they felt that he was the best fit. But I'm sure they had runner-ups that they had in mind to play that character. It wasn't just Steven Yeun was the first person that auditioned and they were like, "Oh, he's perfect. We want him." Right.
Right.
Like I'm sure they had, and this is the way Hollywood works. I'm sure they had a second, third, fourth pick. Steven Yeun had to back out. So they're probably going to go with their second pick. They're probably doing screen tests for all that right now.
Right.
Is Sentry's like a kind of a Superman ripoff, right?
Yeah. Sentry. Well, there's the MCU technically has like 3 Superman knockoffs, right? And Sentry just happens to be one of them. He also deals with really messed up mental health issues. So I mean, like,
Right.
yeah, Sentry is kind of a messed up character. But
No, I just
it's
been watching.
Void, so I mean,
I was just thinking, I'm like, I need a Superman type character, somebody big. We've been watching the new season of Reacher with Alan Richson. And I want to see him get like hugely popular because he's a great actor. He's huge physically.
yeah.
I need to see him in more stuff.
Well, we talked about it last week that he's trying to be Batman. He wants to be Batman.
That's a big Batman.
Yeah.
But that's how big Batman actually is. In the comics, he's 6'3", like 280 pounds.
Right. He's imposing.
Yeah, Batman is massive. The only thing is David Cornsweet also that massive because Superman is about the same size as Batman in the comics.
Right.
which means Superman is also about 6'3", 250 to 280 pounds.
Right. Which that checks out.
You know, like they need to be like tall, massive dudes. And
Remember him in Titans as Hawk?
I always think about that. I always think about like he played a really good Hawk, and we know he looks good in a suit. I think he would be a great Batman.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know where we got. Back to Sentry. I think he'd be a good Sentry. I don't know if we're gonna get a Sentry in the MCU. I think they're putting so much stuff far down the pipeline where they can, just keep tweaking and manipulating, and whatever happens. Like this whole Jonathan Majors thing, or moving on from actor to actor. We shall see.
Indeed.
All right.
So speaking of bolts and thunder and possibly lighting things up, possibly a Darksaber.
Ooh.
Lucasfilm has officially announced a new Star Wars film that is in development, tentatively titled The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh,
And the movie will be directed and produced by the Mandalorian creator Jon Favreau. Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni are also producing. And the movie will go in production this year, 2024. Can you handle a big screen size Grogu?
Give me more Grogu.
that's
Give me the
real
biggest
question, right?
Grogu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like The Mandalorian, the way that it's filmed, the way that it's done, everything about it is already built for the big screen. We've just been waiting to see them do them on the big screen. I think Grogu would look amazing on the big screen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think the only thing that will hold this back is the pacing. I liked Mandalorian, how we told the story over 9 episodes, so 4 to 5 hours of storytelling in a season. I like that.
Right.
They can take pauses, they can go slow, they can hold on certain shots. Once you get to a movie, especially a Star Wars movie, the idea is go. That's the thing that George Lucas used to tell all his actors was that's great, more emotion and go faster. That was his notes for everything was more emotion but keep going,
Right.
so
Right.
I think that may throw things off, that they may try to rush a lot into a movie, but
I have 2 thoughts.
I'm all
and
for
they're
it.
fairly extensive thoughts, but the first one is, I think, the way to avert that is to make it more like we've extended an episode or an arc of a season.
Yeah.
Is you take...
Okay.
Yeah, it's what if the whole... I think it was the first season. No portion of the first season where we go from, hey, Grogu's Force sensitive to we're delivering him to Luke. What if that was a movie? I think that's kind of the idea. My second thing is I do have concerns simply because this seems like a cash grab to me.
Oh yeah.
It really does. And I don't think there's any way you can deny it. As well, I don't want this to deny Filoni season 4. What I'm really hoping did not happen, and it may have happened, that where we're we're not making enough money off Mandalorian, or we're not doing whatever, or we're not, we haven't had a movie or something, and they're hey, Dave, make season 4 into a movie, go. And it's not going to work because it was supposed to be paced a certain way, and then he's oh, I've got to retool all this, whatever, and we're going to deprive Dave Filoni of the actual storytelling he wanted to do, paced the right way for season 4, and make it a 2.5-hour movie instead.
Right.
That's my big concern, is that it's not going to be good simply because it was supposed to be a series.
Right.
It's like the reverse situation of Obi-Wan, where they had to retool it into a series, and so it felt really long and really dry, and they had to keep adding things in where it would have been better as a movie. So I don't know. I still think it's going to be good just by virtue of who's writing it and the characters and how much people care about these characters.
Mhm.
But it does, as I said earlier with the whole Mercury thing, it does kind of set a precedent as if it does really well, which it probably will because it's Mandalorian.
Right.
Then it's going to be like, well, we're just going to stop doing series, or oh, this was going to be a series, but now it's going to be a movie, and it's going to be, you know, not as well paced and not as well loved, simply because it's supposed to be a series. It was supposed to be slower and emotional and all of that. So that's my only concern. So I do hope that it's an arc instead of a whole season that we're like, here's several arcs pushed into one movie.
Yeah, I don't think that that's going to be the case, and it's mainly because Filoni now has full creative freedom over Star Wars at this point.
Right.
They have given him the reins. They have said that you have control over the Star Wars universe at this point. They know that he is proven when it comes to this. I think, yeah, there might be a little bit of, hey, you know, we want to make money, so do this.
I could certainly see it being more of like a board of directors situation where he's like, hey, you need to make a movie.
Well, and
So-
the thing is it could be, you know, we could get into this whole situation of what the sequels ended up being because, you know, the wrong people put their hand in the cookie jar and wanted it their way rather than letting the creatives do it their way. But
Right.
Filoni, I know he's gonna stop everyone and say, hey, look, Lucas gave me the reins on this. This is what
Right.
we're gonna do. That being said, Favreau understands pacing. Favreau understands movie writing, right?
Yeah.
If we're talking about Jon Favreau, he's the guy who knows how to write a movie. We're talking Elf. We're talking Iron Man. Like we're talking, like, you think of any movie that Jon Favreau has written and directed, and they've all come out great. So I don't think they're going to have an issue with pacing on this. I think what this is going to end up being is a capstone to a season. I think that this is going to be season 4 is going to end with an unresolved arc. And the movie is going to be what resolves everything. I think that they're going to do an extended final episode, and it's going to be a movie.
Yeah,
Like
could
it.
be.
I like it.
You said Jon Favreau, like everything he does is great, and the first thing that popped in my head was Elf, and I thought of like, bye Grogu, hope you find your dad. Oh, that's good.
And then I went through Peridia. Oh. Sorry. Elf is my favorite
that's
Disney
good.
movie. So yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the other half of this story, if Shadu, if you want to take this, just to finish out the Star Wars piece,
Sure.
but I think that's the other side of like how they're gonna tell this story, but also like keep everybody happy. That's in the creative process. Does that make sense? With Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let you go through it, but
All right. So speaking of lighting up a dark saber, how about lighting up a lightsaber?
oh,
Could have been better. Anyway, Lucasfilm has also officially confirmed that Dave Filoni is developing Star Wars Ahsoka Season 2. Until now, Lucasfilm had not confirmed it was happening. The news was shared in the recent announcement of Jon Favreau's Mandalorian Grogu Star Wars movie, as we just covered. After mentioning Filoni as a producer on the film, the report also goes on to say who is also currently developing Ahsoka Season 2, among others in the works. Are you excited for more Ahsoka? I certainly thought this was going to happen. There's so many things unresolved in it.
Yeah.
But it is really good to just know it's happening.
Whoa, young Phil with a hot take.
Sorry, wrong one.
I was like, I like where Shadu was going with that.
Wrong one. I meant to.
Hello there.
Okay, so
Yeah, there we go.
no, it was the show gave us a lot of things that we wanted but didn't realize were things we were going to get. You know, we got a lot of Shadows of the Force in this, and I think fans, people who read the books in the 80s and the 90s, none of us thought that we were going to get Shadows of the Force, and especially not in an Ahsoka series. You know, we got Heir to the Empire. You know, we got so many different retellings of stories that were taken out of the canon that we never thought we were going to get back, and now we're getting versions of it. This is also something that's giving us hope into future storytelling. Like, does this mean that at some point we're going to get a Mara Jade, because everyone wants Mara Jade, and Filoni has said that he wants to incorporate Mara Jade at some point, right? You know, and does that mean that we have to retcon Luke Skywalker's storyline in the sequels, you know, or, you know, kind of do what they did with the original trilogy and say that Mara Jade was just lurking in the background, that Mara Jade had something to do with something in the sequels, you know, or you write a story where she becomes the Darth Maul of the sequels. They do like a series that takes place during the events of the sequels, and Mara Jade is like in the background of everything.
I mean, not to get too far into Mara Jade as much as I want to. There is a whole 30 years too.
Yeah.
That we've only explored the Mandalorian, but there's so much more there that we don't know what Luke's doing. I mean, we know he's building a Jedi temple, sure, but he's got to go off and do other things. Who says he can't meet Mara Jade at some point? Or maybe she was an Inquisitor or something who survived.
Right.
You know, so there's a lot of room to fit her in if we wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, I want the hand of the Empire storyline and see.
Right. It could be like she could be the new Grand Inquisitor.
Right. Well, I mean, I want to see that relationship between her and Anakin.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where like the animosity between her and Anakin, when Anakin finds out that the Emperor has another apprentice and she's a Sith assassin, and it's like, it pisses him off to all hell, right? Like,
right.
I want to see that relationship, and you know, her trying to bring Luke down to the dark side and then coming to the light herself.
Right.
You know, I want to see, you know, obviously there's no heirs to Luke, and he doesn't seem melancholy enough to have been through my children were taken from me.
Right. I don't think he necessarily had kids with her, but I could definitely see there been a relationship there of some sort.
I mean, I you know, the fans, we would love to have Jason and Jalen Solo, but
right. I think we did kind of have that with Kylo, but again, it depends on what they do with the sequels too, if they're going to retcon everything.
Right. So I mean,
I have mixed feelings about, but you know,
right. It's going to be interesting to see, especially, you know, are they going to recast Balin?
You know,
probably. You know,
they probably will. But
I mean, like, you know, that's where I'm at with this. Is there's so many implications in the storylines that he brought in that make
he really brought the weirdness in to a certain degree. With we're going back to Mortis, we're going back to, you know, all of this really mystical, like high fantasy stuff. And it's, you know, I think we need to have Balin. And
that's
we need
the
to have
open
a version.
That's the open storyline that I care about, is Balin.
Yeah.
Right. What is Balin after?
Exactly. That's what I care about. You know, Ahsoka, you know, Sabine, they'll get back. Cool. I'm not going to worry about that.
Right, exactly.
What's Balin up to? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, no, it's no, I think that the whole Balin situation is kind of a Kang situation in a way. I mean, not, you know, it's similar, at least. It's, you had this actor that was so good at chewing up scenery and being dramatic, and they feel irreplaceable, and yet you have to figure out a replacement now. And so I definitely think they'll do a replacement with Balin. I just don't know who that would be.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see who they do, or they, you know, kind of keep him off screen for the whole season and then we see him at the end or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm just very happy it's happening.
Yeah.
You know, if we pull back and look at this, and, you know, there's been a lot of weird stuff with Star Wars announcing movies, announcing directors and trilogies, and then, you know, pulling back on it and that sort of thing. I think giving Ahsoka season 2 to Filoni and a new Mando and Grogu movie to Jon Favreau, those are the most likely things to happen that will actually come to happen. But also, that's what we want. Like,
right.
You know, I don't, you know, I want to see some other stuff, but I'd rather see more Ahsoka, more Grogu, more Mandalorian than
Yeah,
some of the other
exactly. It's called the
stuff.
Mandoverse for a reason.
Exactly. Cool.
Yeah.
I am down. You guys ready to move on?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
And in You're Killing Me Smalls news,
Killing me, Smalls.
this one's kind of cool because we heard about this a year ago. A little over
And
a year
also
ago.
because they are friends of the show.
Yeah. Shout out to Shane. The cast of the classic.
Shane actually hits us up all the time as far as like liking our posts and commenting on posts. So
And
I got
trying to get us to eat bean burritos. That's our
oh
thing.
my god, him and his bean and cheese burritos. So just again, shout out to Shane.
The cast of the classic 90s baseball movie The Sandlot recently reunited for the 30th anniversary softball charity game. That's so cool. The game took place in Edgewater, Florida, which is the home of director David Mickey Evans, and it was organized to benefit the Table 2 Committee nonprofit. The game was part of a 2-day fundraising event, which also included meet and greets and photos. So cast members who attended the event included Evans and then Shane Obadzinski, which is repeat. Victor DeMaria, which was Timmy Timmons. Grant Gelt, who was Weeks, right?
Yeah.
Marty York and Tommy Geary. Smalls. Oh, there you go, Smalls. So it's kind of cool. We interviewed 3 of those guys last year at LA Comic-Con, and they talked about how they were planning this event. So it's nice to see it actually come to fruition. So
yeah, it was
super cool.
Shane, Victor, and Grant, right?
Yep, those 3. So it's super cool. They got through it, and Table 2 Committee it's not their nonprofit, but they worked with another nonprofit that helped benefit I think a couple people in Florida that also were about giving back to the community, supporting youth through organized sports, that sort of thing.
Shout out to Play Forever.
Yeah, exactly. Super cool guys. So
that's awesome.
We'll have to share our favorite bean burrito taco with Shane next time we're in LA, because we asked the question, what's your favorite taco? And probably the I don't know if it's the weirdest answer, but it's the funnest answer that he said, bean burritos.
Bean burrito.
Bean burritos are my favorite taco.
He was like Taco Bell bean burritos, and I was like specifically Taco Bell bean burritos.
And the greatest part, this was in the interview, and we were being nice. We're like, oh yeah, bean burritos are great. And the other 2 guys were just like, are you kidding me? Your favorite taco is bean burritos? And he's like, I didn't know what to answer. And he's like, and I think it was Victor was like, I'm a carne asada guy, and I forget what they said, and
Gotta
Shane
go back
was
to
just
the interview.
yeah. Shane was like, I didn't know, you guys put me on the spot. I didn't expect it, and they just said bean burrito.
But I mean, why Taco Bell though? Like, come on.
I don't know. Hey, I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
You've been deprived at some point. What was it? James, did we go to Taco Bell and get him bean burritos, or were we just talking about doing that?
We talked about it, but we were joking with him later on in the con when we were at the Project Wish booth with them, and they were signing Star the Cow, and we're like, hey, do you want to eat a bean burrito? He's like, man, you guys made me you guys screwed me up, and I had to explain the whole joke in the next interview I did.
Because I think what we were talking about was like, oh, we got to go stop by Taco Bell and go pick up a bunch of bean burritos and just walk up to Shane and give him bean burritos.
Exactly. That's what it was. Yeah. Anyway, shout out to the Sandlot cast. They're a great bunch of dudes. So that's cool.
That's awesome.
All right. Let's keep it going. It's award season.
It's time.
This is
All
a
right.
long one, so we
So,
can
yeah,
we
so
can
how-
we can cherry pick some of this.
Yeah,
we can
Yeah,
cherry pick some of
how
this.
are we doing this? Because
Otherwise, we're going to be doing an entire show's worth of information here.
Well,
So
you know,
Sunday evening marked the return of the Golden Globes telecast, celebrating the very best in television and film from 2023. The nominations for this year's show were announced back in December, giving voters a little under a month to decide who would get the nod in each category on their ballot.
so I put this all out there. We don't have to go through everything, but I just kind of cherry picked. But I think there's some interesting awards here that went to certain winners, and you're like, oh wow, I didn't realize that beat out like best motion picture animated. The winner was The Boy and the Heron, which beat out Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. What?
That's interesting.
Okay,
I
all
do
right.
see a lot of Oppenheimer.
A
Which
lot
makes
of
sense.
Oppenheimer.
The thing is that looking at a lot of these categories, like, yeah, I see a lot of Oppenheimer, but I also don't see Barbie in any of these.
So
Barbie
Barbie,
is here,
she
yeah.
won cinematic and box office achievement, which sounds like just like a hey,
It's
you
like
made a lot of
throwaway
money.
category,
Made a lot of money. Yeah. Margot Robbie got beat out by Emma Stone in Poor Things. Which, I mean, I'm not upset about that. Like, yeah, Emma Stone is an amazing actress. She does a really good job.
Mhm.
You know, just there's a lot on there. So let's see, best motion picture or best performance by an actress in supporting role. I'm just kind of like looking through these right now. Oh, best director was Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer. Okay.
Yeah, and then
Okay,
Cillian
yeah.
Murphy also won for best actor for
Yes.
Oppenheimer.
And Robert Downey Jr. got best supporting role in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
one
yeah.
thing to
Love
note,
Oppenheimer.
Lily Gladstone
Mm-hmm.
won for best actress in a motion picture for Killers of the Flower Moon, and she's the first Native American.
Oh, wow.
to win,
Barbie
Golden
won
Globe.
best original song as well.
Yes.
You know what's crazy though is so best score was Ludwig Göransson for
Yeah.
Oppenheimer. If you guys are like, that name sounds familiar, he's
love
also the
him.
dude who did Black Panther. He's
Mhm.
also the guy who created the iconic theme for The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that
I
was nice to see.
Love him.
Yeah,
That was nice to see.
he's
There's
a
some
great
Succession, a lot of Succession on here too.
Yeah,
lot of
that pair.
before we get off movies, it was cool to see that Paul Giamatti won for The Holdovers.
yeah.
I haven't seen that movie yet, but it was nice to see him get some recognition. I've always loved Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti is a better actor than he gets a lot of credit for.
Exactly.
You know, he's a dude who he's very silly in a lot of places, and you know, he plays a lot of like silly characters, but then if you really sit there and look, the dude puts a lot of work into his characters, even if they're like silly, dumb. I'm not going to look twice at these characters. If you look at the performance, the characters are always really well acted.
Silly, dumb. You put me in a rhino costume for
Even
for
then,
3 minutes.
Yeah, but even then, he played a decent, like Russian prisoner to play Rhino, right? Or like you look at his character in Jungle Cruise, like like his characters are very convincing for what they are. Just again, they're very silly characters, and the thing is that doesn't take away from his acting ability. He's an amazing actor. He just does not get recognition because he does play silly characters in silly movies. And, these awards ceremonies just kind of don't look kindly on those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
You can be the best actor in the world. I mean, look at Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, he didn't win the Oscar for the longest time. He had to get, accosted by a bear.
Right.
That was a good movie, but that was more like an achievement award. Like, hey, you
seriously, that is not the best movie he's ever been in. There are so many. What kills me is he didn't get one for The Departed.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, just how? But either way, The Bear won Best Television Series and musical.
I'm a little mad about Lasso, but
I think Ted Lasso deserves every award in the world, but
Agreed.
Yeah. Real quick, Say Wong chimed in. He said, "Boy in the Heron." I can understand why it won. That wasn't even in theaters that long. That came out in like December, but he said it was really good. So,
Okay.
maybe something to go check out. I did watch The Bear, and it is a really good show.
The Bear is basically an adult version of Ted Lasso.
And Ted Lasso wasn't? I mean,
No, but I mean, like it's Ted Lasso dialed up to like 11
oh God.
with like a little bit more cussing and some more
Have you watched The Bear?
themes. Yes.
I wouldn't relate it to Ted Lasso at
No, but I mean
all.
the storytelling itself, like it is a very it's a very fish out of water trying to make his own way kind of story.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know, like
I love The Bear. I
Yeah.
love The Bear.
you know, like the whole concept, again, no spoilers, but I mean the concept of, you know, my family member passed away. He had this essentially deli, and he's like trying to make something out of it kind of thing. Right? Like it's him taking over something that he wasn't really ready for, but killing it.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
And by the way, best scene in television, season 2, the dinner scene.
Yeah.
When his mom drives through the living room.
The forks.
My
Don't forget me.
That
Oh, it's so good.
scene is what brought me into that show. Jackie was watching it, was watching the show, and I hadn't started watching it yet.
Uh-huh.
I walked in during that scene and I sat down and was just enthralled by this scene. And I was like, I need to watch the rest of the show. This is crazy.
By the way, that whole episode is a flashback. It's crazy. Jamie Lee Curtis is amazing
Yes.
in that show.
Oh Lord.
Stephen Yuen got an award for Beef.
Yep.
Good.
And speaking of the Bear, Jeremy Allen White got an award for the Bear. Jeremy Allen White needs an award for Iron Claw. Just throwing that out there.
Did you see Iron Claw?
I saw it this weekend. It was amazing.
Awesome. Thanks for the invite. That was great. The one movie I could have gone with you and not
I
my
thought you already- I
kids
thought
and
you
my
already saw it.
family.
I thought you already saw it.
Whatever.
Or you
just,
said you already saw it.
I didn't see it.
just for Frey, I see The Crown one of them as well.
Yeah. Elizabeth Debicki. She was the best performance by an actress in a supporting role in a television series. And Ali Wong got best actress in a limited series for
Beef.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that I keep seeing that on my Netflix feed. I'm like, I should watch that. And then but I've never started it.
Yeah.
Like now that they've won, I'm like, I should go start this and check this out.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's pretty much
Just one more also for Frey. I see that Love and Death was nominated. I'm sorry, Frey.
sorry for your loss.
How do I both give recognition and piss off my mom at the same time?
I'm attempting not to, but moving on. In
Let's move on.
mystery gaming news, you
Ooh,
could say,
okay.
something that awards have not been given for yet. It looks like there's an unannounced Bethesda game releasing this year.
Interesting.
I very, very, very briefly got my hopes up, then I realized it was not happening. So, in 2024, Xbox fans have Avowed, Hellblade 2, and more to look forward to. And it seems they could probably add a Bethesda game to this list. The question is, who's making it, and what is it? We know Arcane is busy. We know Bethesda Game Studios is busy. We know it's not going to be Tango Gameworks since it just went last year. We know Machine Games is working on Indiana Jones and presumably working on a new Wolfenstein as well. This mystery game could be the latter. It could also be something new from id Software, who we haven't seen since Doom Eternal. The speculation has erupted following a post from Marcel Huttum, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, on LinkedIn, which lists his most anticipated games. For those who don't know, Tom is the senior product marketing manager GSA at ZeniMax Germany. ZeniMax is the parent company of Bethesda. In
Right.
this list, he teases a TBA game, presumably the only unannounced games he knows about are Bethesda games. So Indiana Jones, Doom, any ideas on what the mystery game could be?
Oh, that is hard to call. It because the thing is that Bethesda, nothing's leaked on this, right? And usually they would have leaked something by now. So I mean, it's kind of interesting to see like what it's going to be. I mean, we already know Indiana Jones is coming. We know, I mean, Doom could be like another installment into the Doom series. Could be there. It could be the Wolfenstein. The last Wolfenstein game, I didn't completely hate it, but it was a little repetitive, and I think that's something that a lot of people in the last Wolfenstein game kind of like just didn't like. Was, you know, they felt like they needed something to make that to fix that franchise. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I was like, again, I see Bethesda, and I'm like, new Fallout, new Elder Scrolls, you know. But
And that's actually what I was just thinking right now too. Is it could be a new Fallout?
it could be.
Isn't Fallout getting a TV show?
They are, which would
They just
be
did the trailer.
yeah, which would be great. And again, we're still waiting for Elder Scrolls 6.
Synergy.
I'm just
Yeah.
I'm almost giving up hope here, but you know, we'll see. Again, yeah, it's the fact they're not making a big deal out of it is weird too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I do wonder what it could be.
And the thing is that, like what I was saying, like a Fallout, they need something to make the fans not hate them for Fallout 76.
Right. Right. And the opinions about Starfield as well. They need something to redeem themselves a little bit too.
I'll be honest, I didn't finish Starfield as good of a game as it was. It's one of those things where sometimes you just want simplicity in a game, and it is very complicated.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the reviews about Starfield were not very good.
Right.
And that's why I was so hesitant. I'm so hesitant to get it, is because I'm like, I don't know.
I think you would like it specifically because I know, especially as a D&D player, it is very, very involved. If you were to get into like say if you were playing like a very deep campaign in D&D.
Gotcha. And I'm a big like Elder Scrolls fan too.
Yeah,
so I love it. I'm sure.
Yeah, like this game is very, very, very involved. Everything you can pick anything up. Everything has a purpose. You know.
Okay, good. I love it. All right, then I'm totally gonna buy it.
You know,
like the newest Zelda.
Yeah, you have to manage. You have to manage your inventory. You have to like. You know, you actually have to go out and like mine for resources in order to build certain things and all that. Like, know, there's a lot of resource management in the game and whatnot.
I'm gonna do it. It sounds like Skyrim, so I'm there.
You know, the fighting it's not bad, but at the same time, it's kind of like it's almost a pain in the ass as far as like when you like take like Destiny, right? Or obviously like a Call of Duty where like, you know, you can customize your weapons to you don't really get that in this game. Like you get some customization, but it's like you're very limited on the things you can customize, and like it's kind of a pain to like get to a point where you can customize things.
Oh, I see. I mean, that's an odd choice from Bethesda simply because Fallout was so into the customization, and you know, Skyrim to a certain degree, it was very limited.
It may just be that I haven't gotten that far.
Right. It could just be but there shouldn't be such a barrier to it either.
Yeah.
So, you know. Anyway, I don't know. I worry that I don't worry. I don't know. This might be a smaller release. That's why they're not making a big deal out of it.
Right.
It could be just a smaller thing or connected to a larger franchise, but just, it's a little whatever. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
So, I don't know.
That was
Well-
our last news story.
That was it for the news, guys. So let's move on to the last segment we've got going on here, guys. It's time to break it down. And the graphics still have not been updated.
Still haven't gotten that far. Thanks, graphics department.
Still waiting on the graphics department.
Season 2 of What If arrived amid the 2023 holiday season. The 9 episodes were each released one a day at a time from December 22nd through December 30th. A third season has been greenlit, though no release date has been set. While some episodes are stronger than others, all of them find a creative way to explore their particular permutations of the multiverse. Haley Atwell's Captain Carter continues her run as the series' unofficial poster child. So, what were you guys expecting?
I
Out of
will
What If
say
going into
something. Sorry, I will say something before we get into this.
Yeah, please.
I have not finished this yet. I am on the last 2 episodes, so I'm going to duck out when we get there.
Okay, no worries.
Simply because I don't want to get spoiled. But what I've seen so far, it's amazing. I was expecting it to be really good. This season is so good.
Well, we don't have to cover this as like Easter eggs, that we normally do. We can just talk about it as a whole and talk about pieces that we liked.
Yeah.
There was certain episodes I liked over others.
Right.
Going back to what I was expecting out of the series, I think it took me in a different direction than I expected, and I like that kind of unpredictability that What If brings. To the MCU storytelling. I like that. I didn't know that the Peggy Carter, Captain Carter was like the through line for all of this. I didn't realize it, but after seeing it now, I'm like, you know what? Good for Peggy Carter. Good for Captain Carter. I like that character. So I'm super happy that they use that again. What do you think, young Phil?
No, I very much agree.
I enjoyed this season. Not that I didn't enjoy the first season, but I enjoyed this season a little bit more. And I think a lot of it also had to do with remember I've been very vocal about this. I mentioned it last week too when we talked about like actually watching the episodes and everything. The pacing is so much better this season than it was last season.
Yeah.
'Cause last season it felt like a lot of things were just kind of rushed.
Right. And I got that to a certain degree in some of them. I was mentioning to Frey that a lot of them feel like, oh, this should have been a movie, like they're just kind of hitting very, plot beats.
Right. And a lot of that is also just because they're trying to, take an entire storyline where they're changing something that happened in the movie and condensing that to a 30-minute episode.
Right. I feel like it'd almost be better if they were hour long, but I know that's a lot to animate and a lot to get out too.
Yeah.
So
Now,
especially with the level of quality. But...
Yeah. Not like to get into a couple things that were on there. Like, I love the first episode. That kind of just brought me right into it because you get that kind of like film noir.
Yeah.
With that story. And I thought that was amazing. I thought that was really good storytelling. And it was like, we're getting a different version of stories that we haven't seen in Marvel yet. Kind of like,
are you talking about the Nebula one?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's our notes are saying like they compared it to Blade Runner. It really does feel like a Marvel version of Blade Runner.
A lot of these this season feel like adaptations of other properties in a way.
Yeah, and I love the amount of Howard the Duck that we got in this.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was great. So no, I loved that. Snarkiness and all of that.
Yeah, and then I love there have been debates for a while about who would be in the Avengers if the Avengers were in the 80s, and they answered that question in this. Like I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Again, talking about tropes. we literally got Die Hard
in the MCU. It was amazing.
It was so good. It just the stories that they chose to tell this season were masterful. You know, they were great. It was very good. Now I know you haven't watched everything, but there are a lot of callbacks in later episodes that call back to things that happened earlier in the show that you're just kind of like, oh, okay, didn't expect that callback to come in right here.
Well, you know, it's like they tell pockets of stories, but you know, Peggy Carter being the through line, like I didn't expect certain early storylines to play into the kind of finale of it. I didn't expect the way that ended up to be that. I mean, some of the early ones, like I would say the first 3 or first 4, some of them actually felt a little throwaway until they connected again.
Yeah.
I
So
see. Yeah, I have not gotten to too many connections yet.
yeah, but I liked seeing going back to the Nebula one, like seeing like a weird version of the Guardians kind of thing with Howard the Duck and Groot, you know, and kind of weirdly seeing characters, you know, in different ways. But
the only person that was out of place in that whole lineup was Korg.
yeah.
Place in that whole lineup.
Whoa.
Oh,
What just happened? My phone's like, oh, Philippe's talking.
I don't know what happened there, but
No, that was my phone that just decided to have Philippe talk.
okay. But like no, like the only thing that was out of place was like Korg and Meek, because it's kind of like they weren't on that planet. they weren't on Xandar at all. So like, why are they in this storyline as a bartender randomly? You know, just because they're cosmic characters. So it's
right, or they were associated with Thor Ragnarok, so that they have to be there.
Right, and it's like
probably the idea.
They kind of were on the other side of the galaxy, so or like of the universe in general. So it's kind of like
right.
That one was the only thing that felt a little off. Was, you know, there's no explanation as to why they're on Xandar, because this whole story is supposed to be Xandar as if it were never destroyed. Right. They made more sense in one of the later storylines.
Right. So Shadu, what episode has been your favorite? And did you just watch it once?
I've watched everything once.
Okay.
Not everything. I've watched up until I just finished, like literally 30 minutes before I got on the show, the 10 Rings one.
Gotcha.
So
you literally only have 2 episodes left. Okay.
I literally have only 2 episodes left.
It's gonna be the best 2 episodes. It's gonna be a fun ride. Go watch it, then go watch Echo.
Yeah, it all ties in together.
Yeah.
It is amazing, man. That's actually what I'm going to do after this. We're done with the show tonight. I'm going to be editing and watching Echo.
Nice.
So I will say this: going back, because I watched some of the earlier ones a couple different times because they weren't my favorites. So I was like, "Am I missing something?" And I went back and watched like the Nebula one and the Peter Quill one. I'm like, okay, I get a little bit more appreciation out of them. The Happy Hogan Saves Christmas one, I'm still not into, and I was like, I'm gonna love this one, but I still don't like that one very much. I don't know if it's
I love that one.
process of elimination. I don't know.
Right.
I love Sam Rockwell in general, so I mean, just
Yeah,
I love seeing Sam Rockwell come back and play that character. I mean, I always come into What If with everything being anthology. You know what I mean? It's kind of what I like about What If is it starts off as anthology and then slowly becomes a cohesive storyline by the end of the season. Right? Where like, you know, everything ties together at some point, but not on purpose. Like they write a story that incorporates everything from like the rest of the season. But for the most part, it's meant to be an anthology series. So, you know, it's the same way as the comics. The comics were anthology standalone stories that were, what if this one thing were tweaked and it wasn't what you thought what it was in the mainstream storyline, you know?
Right. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite episode that you've seen so far,
I'm trying to figure it out.
Have you seen?
I'm just looking
Okay,
at all
so
of
you
them
have
here.
2 episodes left. So you've seen the Kahorti one.
That was shockingly good.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you're introducing a new character, oh whatever, because I think What If really relied on, oh, this is this character, but they're different or whatever,
Yeah.
I really liked it. That
Yeah.
may be my answer.
Yeah.
Because it was so different, and it was kind of interesting for me in that and I don't want to go too far into geopolitics and history and all of that. I mean, obviously that's what you're supposed to, but from seeing the story, kind of a superhero story from the perspective of a culture I know nothing about.
Yeah.
Just very basic about. Like I know some things about Native American cultures, but I didn't really know much about the Mohawk. And it's really interesting to see their culture and their religion and all of that being integrated into this mystical framework, into this MCU framework. And
especially considering the Mohawk in general have always been looked at as when you look at like old West tropes on Native Americans, Mohawk the Mohawk were the ones that would scout people.
Right, exactly.
Right. So that's why like you look at like, oh, the only thing I know about the Mohawk is when they kill someone in battle, they scalp them, but you don't know about like kind of their entire story. And I love that they didn't go up against the English, they went up against the Spanish, which is
right.
Right,
which again is interesting. And that too, it's seeing I don't want to say white people as bad guys, but it's seeing the Spanish
are white people.
well, right. I know. I'm just saying. I don't want to do a whole. Yeah, it's interesting seeing white people as the bad guys.
Yeah.
So much in that it is so much from their perspective. It's like, well, of course they are.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I agreed with that beforehand, but it's like, of course they are. You burnt a village to prove a point.
Right. This also takes place in the 15th century, which is. This is Spanish Inquisition. This is
exactly. And so of course they're going to be like, well, they're devil worshippers. We got to murder them all.
Right.
It's just and getting into that, and yet they were still able to integrate all of the mythology and the whole Fountain of Youth and all of that. And then we saw Queen Isabel. Like it's the way that it both integrated so well into the MCU and into real world history was just astonishing. I loved it. I that may be my favorite. For the Grandmaster one was really good too.
If you love Kahori, you are going to love the season finale.
Okay, good. My other one is the Grandmaster one. It's one of those two.
God, that episode was so funny. It felt like what was the old Hanna-Barbera cartoon, the Wacky Ridge Racers?
Yeah.
It felt like Wacky Ridge Racers with Marvel characters.
Yeah. And the Tony Stark in that was great.
Oh, what's the name of the actor that plays Tony in that?
I forgot, but he was great. It didn't sound exactly like Robert Downey Jr., but the essence of Tony Stark
was great. He had kind of the improv down.
Yeah. He really gets the nuances of Robert Downey Jr.'s performance down. It's obviously not Robert Downey Jr. You can kind of tell in the voice a little bit if you're like really listening to it, but he really does get that feeling down. And it's a really good job. It's the same as the actor that plays Steve Rogers, gets that feeling down. Like you feel Chris Evans.
The other one, and this is probably recency bias, but the Hela one was really good too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you get Kate Blanchett, you might as well.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good.
I love that was also exploring a different culture, and it was, it kind of wasn't really retelling Shang-Chi because it was still in that era. So no, it was really interesting, and it was like, hey, let's combine Shang-Chi and Thor 1 together, and then throw in a bunch of other stuff. And it was great.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, and as it says in the little description we have here, it is very much a character study about, how Hela could have been different in general, and what she was like before we saw her in Ragnarok.
I think the fight scene with Odin,
Oh,
dope. But
so good.
the whole
Editing.
finding the 10 rings was a little misleading.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
didn't actually find the 10 rings. She found
Yeah.
the bearer of the 10 rings.
Yeah.
Well, maybe 10 rings was supposed to mean the organization, not the actual
yeah.
artifact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But-
guess you can do that.
I don't know. It's like, hey, what if Hela found Wenwu? I don't know. People might
Yeah.
not remember who Wenwu is. That may be it.
Yeah,
Found-
exactly.
I think it should have been what if Hela found Morris, but
More. Dude, you know what was my favorite one? You know what my favorite episode was? Captain Carter fought the Hydra Stomper.
that was a really
Okay,
good
so
one.
I love that Steve becomes the Winter Soldier, essentially.
Yes.
Yes.
And you weren't expecting it.
No, at all.
I had a suspicion that they were like, why are you so blindly trusting him here?
Yeah,
Too.
I
I was a little like,
like that.
I'm not sure about
Because
that.
it's Steve. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
but it's Steve that we've already established wants to murder her. And so I'm like,
that was
okay.
before. That was before.
It's no, because
Yeah.
the whole thing is that he's brainwashed to the point where he's able to convince her that he's not brainwashed, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm still brainwashed.
And that's
you know,
terrifying.
it really is, especially when you have. I guess it's Steve Rogers is not that big of a deal when he's just regular ass little Steve Rogers, but he's essentially in an Iron Man suit. He's in
Right.
Yeah.
not an Iron Man suit. I'm sorry. He is in a crossover Ironmonger and Hulkbuster suit.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I like how they phrased it like we can't remove him from it. Like it's what's keeping him alive
Yeah.
right now. Like, oh, he is stuck. Like, and that's one of those, tragic stories that keeps happening to Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter. Like they get so close to having their dreams or what they're actually yearning for in life, but it gets ripped away.
Right. And the whole that was, the symbology of the base being this artificial town
Yeah.
too was just
Freaky.
freaky, but it was also like, hey, this is the life we could have had.
Yeah.
And yet
totally.
it's this horror story.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
It was just
But
it was
another
an
good
amazing
episode for Peggy Carter. It was great.
Very
So I
much
can't
so.
wait till you see the last two episodes because
Yeah, me
you're
either.
gonna get so much out of those two.
Good.
So, oh yeah, you haven't seen 1602. It's gonna be great. So I can't wait.
1602 is a really good episode, but again, the season finale is also really good too. So
I'm excited for 1602. How much of a history nerd I am, and how much I got
Did you
out of
read
the
the books?
Corey one.
Did you read Neil Gaiman's 1602?
Nope, never did.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I was.
But good because from
Look,
what I
if
hear,
you're going
it's praised.
to, okay, so I'm sure, and my mother already knows this, so she's not going to murder me. But if you guys want to come murder me, you can. I was never really a comics person
Oh.
before the MCU happened. I'm still not. So, yeah,
That's totally okay. Totally okay.
I'm just using Frey.
But I'm not a big gamer, so but there's some stuff that interests me when we talk about it. So
most of the nerdy interests I have, besides specific things, were Frey. Frey was a gamer before I was. She
Right.
was a comic book nerd. She was a film nerd and whatever. So I credit most of it to her.
yes. And we're gonna blame her that you haven't seen the last two episodes. So I don't know why.
We blame mom. All right, guys, we need ratings.
Let's
yes.
rate it up to what you think, or wherever you are in
Yeah,
the
so
series.
should
Okay.
do up to episode 7, I believe. What is your rating?
Up to episode 8, I believe. Or what? Hold on. Is there 10 episodes?
You're
this
at
season?
7.
Is there-
9
Right.
episodes. There's 9 episodes total.
There's 9. So yeah, 7.
Episodes up. Yeah.
Okay, so far I am going to give it I'm going to give it 8.
Yes.
Uh, 8. Trying to think of something clever. 8.
8 tacos on a vibranium
8.
shield.
Happy Hulk Hogan's.
Okay.
Out of
Really?
9.
I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. He is Hulk Hogan.
Out of they say it in the episode.
That's he does. I remember that.
Out of 9, let my people go.
There you go.
What do you give it, James?
I want to give this I want to say 8 too. There's a couple early episodes that I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling this, but overall I love the series and I love what it brings to the MCU. So I will give this 8 vibranium Captain Carter shields out of 10 rings. Come on, guys, it's right there. 10 rings.
10 golden ring. Oh, sorry.
How about you, Philippe?
I'm gonna give this 9 obvious Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde references
Mm-hmm.
out of 10 badass brand new characters who are created by the Tesseract.
I just thought of what my other one should have been, or not the other episode, like my other rating should have been. Odin's a fascist.
Fascist. To be fair,
Ugh.
Odin is a fascist.
Yes, he
Oh,
he literally is.
That's funny.
And modern fascism is actually based on Odin. So
Yep, because there's
So-
a lot of paganism there, and it's not the good part.
not the good kind. Yeah.
Not the good kind of paganism that I'm into.
So how do
So-
you think this is going to affect the rest of the MCU? We already know we're getting a season 3,
Mhm.
but do you think any of this carries over into the MCU somehow?
Maybe. I think the way it is mostly going to carry over is the kind of depth we get with some of the characters. Is that it's a situation of these alternate characters kind of always in the ones we know, and so we do get more insight into their philosophies and all of that. And, they could have been this if they had done this, but they kind of always had this motivation. So it's
Yeah.
I think it's more about the insight we get into these characters. I don't know. We might get something to do with Kahori. I could see that.
I'm on along the same lines too. It's like it was almost an experiment and it worked. And
Right.
what are we going to do? How do we get Kahorti into the MCU or on live action somehow and see what happens?
Exactly.
You know, whether she gets this, she gets another episode in season 3, she gets her own comic book line. Like what are we going to do with Kahorti?
Right. Well, we might get another thing. We might get more Hell of the White as well.
Yes.
I think simply because there's more story there.
Yeah.
And so it may be a similar situation where, we got a Captain Carter sequel or whatever. I mean, obviously, Guardians of the Multiverse or whatever, but we got a Captain Carter sequel. Maybe we'll get in season 3 a Hela sequel or whatever.
Yeah. We're definitely going to get more Kahori just because there's been a lot of good reception for Kahori.
Mhm.
So I think Marvel already had the plan where it was like, if they get good reception, they're probably going to start writing books for this. I think that with the nature of her powers and the way the character is, we may see her show up in the MCU. We may see her show up in Avengers comic books here in the near future, just because, again, when I say the nature of her character, she's technically immortal. So, I mean,
Yeah, no, that's a good point. She is immortal. She is another character who has this immense amount of power, which is a whole issue in and of itself, but she's a great character.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is because the Tesseract has made it to where they don't age.
Right, exactly, because it's a space time.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyway.
My other prediction is I know we're gonna get her in Marvel Zombies, but season 3 we're gonna get Kamala Khan somehow. I think she's going to
Hmm.
be involved in the
I-
series somehow.
Hope in season 3 we get Deadpool.
Yes,
Oh, look at you! That's a good pull.
we
We'll see.
That's a
need
good
we
pull.
need Wade. I know, right? We need Wade to show up in all of the like. We need him to be equivalent to Captain Carter. I don't want
Like
to see Captain Carter, but we need like Wade to be in like every episode.
I
'cause-
want him to be like right there with the Watcher,
yes.
right there with the Wat too.
I just want, and the whole thing is, I want there to be a no explanation, and I want Uatu to just be like, "What the fuck?"
He just shows up.
He just shows up. Like I want Uatu to be like explaining something, and Wade just like kind of walks
Like,
in, like
and then you just hear, "What the fuck?"
Wade just walks in with popcorn, but he can't eat the popcorn. He's just like throwing it at his mask. Right? So he's just walking in like, "Oh, what are, so you're telling them that? Who the hell are you?" I don't know. I honestly don't know how
That's
I ended
pretty
up
good. Okay. All right. I'll let you guys work that one out. That was
I
actually
honestly don't know how I ended up here. I
pretty good.
was just I was talking to this guy right here, and like fourth wall breaking at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to him, or I was talking to them, and all of a sudden I saw you, and I was just like, okay, well, I want a snack, so
What is that?
Is that guy sitting in a tree? He
Ugh.
just sits there. My last prediction.
Yes.
My last prediction is we're getting season 3. We're also going to be getting merch, people.
Oh,
merch. Hold on,
Oh.
people.
We got a hat for $35 or if you can get a
Got hat, people.
we got a hat, people. Or if you can find one in another multiverse, we'll sell it to you each for $30. So whether it's Galaxy Gray or I don't know, bold blue, I don't know, who knows what's out there in the multiverse. Anyway, we also have shirts. Get your shirts. We got the logo shirt, we got the character shirt. DM us at Distance Nerding on Instagram. Let us know what size you need. They're $20 or $25 if we got to ship it to you. Get multiple ones. They both look great.
Yeah.
Get them.
I love that James didn't remember the name of the product that he made.
Which one?
It's like so Galaxy Gray and Baller Black.
I was trying to think of a multiverse blue one.
But
Jerk.
You said Galaxy Black. That's why I was like, okay.
Oh. Anyways, if you want more shirts, go to lucharillas.com. I'm popping it into the chat as we speak. And check out the Distance Nerdarilla.
You
They
look
got
so
all the sizes.
look at him. He just looks so angry.
That's how I
Yeah.
feel when Philippe corrects me. And then we got some scheduling.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Our schedule, the shows and the things that we do on Mondays. We've got game streams from 8 to 12. Lately, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Mirage. We are getting to the end game of Assassin's Creed Mirage and getting towards the end of that. We're also playing Cyberpunk 2077. Finally got all the stuff working. I figured out why the games weren't streaming correctly. And it's because Xbox has a 4K button that automatically upconverts everything to 4K if you are on a 4K monitor, and the streaming card doesn't support 4K, so it cuts
I
everything
see.
off. So I just have to turn off upconvert to 4K and it works. But that's the games right there. Now I have been periodically jumping on and playing Call of Duty just randomly
Nice.
on stream, so you guys can catch me just playing Call of Duty, and we've actually been getting a whole bunch of followers while I've been doing that too, so it's been fun.
It was so hectic. You never stop moving in Call of Duty.
No, you do not. It is not the thinking man's game like all the other games that I play. Like this is more, Call of Duty is more reactionary. It's more how fast can you react to the crazy things that are going on. And James came in the last stream, he came in at the perfect moment because I was playing one of the most hectic maps in the game. So it's like constant action all the time. You're being shot from every direction. You're it's a very small four corners map, and there's very little places to hide. So if you go Like you're just always being shot. So it's just like it's finding the strategy and like surviving that map, and it's really hard. But still, with that right there, Tuesdays from 6:30 to 8:30 or 6:30 to whenever we finish is the show you're watching right now or listening to right now, The Download, where we talk news, rumors, trailer reactions, reviews, Easter egg breakdowns, fun stuff like that, guys. We will continue to do that. Thursdays, The Build from 6 to 8. We talk with fun people, anywhere from celebrities to comic book artists, comic book guests. Pretty soon we're going to be having filmmakers and show runners for an ASEAL company and famous
People that have shook hands with The Rock. Come on, man.
Famous comic book creators like Melissa Flores. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to name drop there. Yeah, I did. Melissa Flores is going to be on in 2 weeks. I'm excited for that. I'm hell of excited. I'm excited. You know who got super juiced when I told him that Melissa was coming on the show?
Who?
Matt Aguilar.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so Matt, because he was talking about her, because she just did a Spider-Gwen run, and he was talking about her on the new Comic Book Nation, the comic book show that they just started doing. And he was like, yeah, Melissa Flores just came out with this Spider-Gwen run, and it is amazing, and I'm loving it right now. And I like text him as soon as I listened to the episode and was like, dude, Melissa Flores is coming on the show in like 2 weeks. He goes, bullshit.
That's awesome.
So super excited for that.
Hey, maybe you hook him up and be like, hey, Melissa, that was a great interview. Can you maybe do an interview with a friend of ours? And you get him an interview, and then how happy is he going to be?
And then maybe he can start getting us interviews, because you've seen some of the interviews he's done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's interviewed some people that I would wish to interview on my best day. But
I mean, yeah.
But with that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is our schedule. Again, sorry, 6 to 8 on Thursdays, where we talk with fun people. I build Lego on stream, and maybe we might get a bracket or a top 10 in there, and talk about that kind of fun stuff.
Awesome, Liam.
Yes,
Shadu, give us some pluggables. Give us where we can find you besides Earth 616. Where else can we find you?
Yes, I am SSU Studios here on YouTube and on Instagram. I do short films, music, and other nerdy stuff. I am also on Fry's channel. We have a little series called Classified, where we take your favorite pop culture characters and place them into their respective D&D classes. We also have a companion series called Journal of the Classes, where we go through each of the D&D classes and their subclasses. We have a new episode of Journal of Classes, the first of 2024. It'll be coming out on Friday. It is on Paladin. So that'll be really fun. Paladin is my favorite class. So
that is my class as well.
Nice. I am also in the
World of Warcraft. That was my favorite class.
What, were you a paladin in World of Warcraft?
Heck yeah.
Nice.
And his name was Adobo. Yeah.
What, his name was Adobo?
Yeah.
That's hella funny, dude.
Dwarf Paladin.
Oh, Dwarf Paladin. Oh man,
Nice.
my character in D&D, and I lost the sheet. So if I ever start playing, and I've got to rebuild this character. But he was a half orc paladin.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very.
Hey, I'd always be happy to run a game for you or something.
Yeah. It's a very, very, very difficult character to play, because you're fighting nature against nurture, right? So
right, and it's Who is his patron?
Oh, Paladine.
Nice.
Right. So you pray to the god. You pray to Paladine for guidance in battle.
Right.
I would always get. I would always get my DM would always give me extra class points, because before every battle I would pray for guidance before a fight, so that I would so that I would fight righteous and true, and not succumb to my nature and my anger.
My first paladin, we need to get through this, but my first paladin was like really pious, and then came to realize that the god he was worshiping was evil.
Oh man, who's his god?
It was a homebrew thing.
Okay.
from somebody else. But it was that, and then he realized he was also the god he had been worshiping, or one of the gods he had been worshiping. He was kind of his son in a way.
Oh, so he was a demigod.
He was a demigod, exactly.
Okay.
So it was really interesting in this all the drama and everything. So he kind of went from lawful to chaotic good at some
he was
point.
Percy Jackson.
Kind of. It was
God.
it was a different thing. So
You haven't started watching it yet, huh?
I have not. I'm going to probably tomorrow.
I
So,
watched episode 4 yesterday. It was amazing, dude. You have to. I want specifically. I want your take.
I
on the show.
need to watch it. I need
Yeah.
to because that was my childhood. Anyway, I'm also in the Distance Starting Sphere. I am on the download on Tuesdays. As you can see, the build on Thursdays. I will not be on this Thursday, but normally I'm on the build on Thursdays. I'm also on Kaiba Cave Productions for the Saturday Morning Nerd Out, and now the New Order as well. Woo!
Ooh, so nice. So nice. I like that.
All right.
That is good. All right. Have something you want to discuss? Tell us what you're nerding out on, and make sure to let us know in the Facebook group, The Distance Nerdington Post.
Woo.
Ladies and gentlemen, I say it every week. You guys know you can do it. All you got to do is head over to, if you want to support us the best way you can head over to distancenerding.com and click on that button at the top that says join the taco party. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you can join the taco party. That's right. So when you join the taco party, you buy us a taco. That makes it so that way we can continue to do all the fun stuff with you guys, for you guys. We can get better prices. We can make sure Shadu doesn't drop everything all over his bedroom. We can, we can, again, it makes it so that we can do more shows and more fun things for you guys. We can do more events and stuff like that. And of course, another way that you can support us now, if you head over to Twitch, if you're watching us on Twitch right now, or if you head over to Twitch, you can subscribe on Twitch. Once we hit 10 subscribers on Twitch, I'm giving away a Lego Batman Bat Cycle.
Ooh.
And it's not the little rinky-dink toy, action figure one. It is the one from the Batman, the $50 one.
Nice.
So I'm giving away a good kit, right? But all you guys got to do is subscribe to Distance Nerding. And remember, guys, if you have Twitch Prime, if you're a Prime member, you could subscribe to us using Twitch Prime. There you go. And you subscribe using Twitch Prime.
There you
Twitch,
go.
Yeah, Twitch gives you a subscription every month, so you can use that right there, guys. So
I like it.
Thing to think about. So yes. So that is it from us, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you can connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Discord, MySpace, Vine, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and mandals and the beard.
Uncensored.
Weird, but it's sexy at the same time. For some reason. And of course, if you'd like us to break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, pet, schoolyard bully, annoying neighbor, or just tell us how much you enjoy us, hate us, or wish the internet would completely consume us and spit us out at the feet of the gods themselves. When I say the gods, I mean Odin and Loki and Thor and Hela.
And Balder. Don't forget about Balder.
And Balder.
Balder.
Balder. You can send us an email at dist.
I bet you want to break up with a pet. I bet it was a cat.
Yeah. Well, no, I
It must
mean,
be so hard to break
no,
up with
the cat would break up with you.
Exactly.
That's right. It's the cat. So it'd be a cat calling in that wants to break up with their human.
A cat call.
It's
Okay.
a call.
Right. It's literally a cat call. Yeah.
I like it.
It's more like meow meow
Meow meow.
meow meow.
Meow meow.
You have meow.
you have me meow. I have you meow. And snurring at AOL.com. And we will read your email on the air, on the show. If we suddenly get an influx of emails, hey, maybe we'll do an extra show where we just read the emails.
There it is.
So there we go. All right.
it is.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. It is now time for the dance party. Let us get this going.
He's not dead.
It's Yondu.
Distance nerding.
To me, Mario. Opa. Yes, he's blinking.
Ah!
Hey, if you want some stickers, message us at Distance Nerding. We'll send you some stickers.
Shoot us an email at distancednerding@AOL.com.
Bye.
We'll see everybody next week.